today at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer. Nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Your hole-in-one for men's health is Ackerman Urology. With offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, World Golf Village, and the beaches, Ackerman will get you on par for any prostate conditions and sexual vitality. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
When persistent plumbing problems leave you feeling flushed, don't panic. Call Roland Reich. They quote all pricing in advance, so your only surprise is how quickly they'll solve your issue. Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Good morning.
Good morning. Coogan Nation. Time to rise and shine and start your day with Duval Sports Media Big Steppers. Dan Hicken.
You know it!
Jeff Proctor.
It's a big deal.
Gosh, it sure is a big deal.
And E to the T.
E.T. is in the booth.
Rise and shine. Googans, go time on a Monday morning. How'd you bracket? Not too bad around here. We got a tight one. Good morning, E.T. How are we? I mean, the ball kind of bounced. Kind of chalky this weekend overall. It was still a fun weekend. Still an exciting weekend of basketball. You really couldn't get through a window without 1 or 2 buzzer beaters or last-second game winners. Drama was there. Certainly all eyes on the top-seeded Florida Gators around these parts. Man, I had a bad feeling. UConn took the lead with like 19 minutes to go coming out of the half. They drained a long three-pointer to tie it going into the half. I wanted the Gators to have the lead. Here's a little cool stat for you to put in your pocket, hopefully for 4 more Florida Gator basketball games. They're undefeated this year when they've led at halftime. Whether it's a 1-point lead or a 31-point lead, when they've led at half, they're undefeated this year. I think it's now 25-0, maybe, something like that. Does that sound right? 30? Yeah, they probably won't set. Nah, well, anywho, it would behoove Florida, you would think, based on that trend, to take a halftime lead into the locker room, and UConn hit a 3. That tied it. And then we move on into the second half. And UConn, heart of a champion, man. That Danny Hurley's hard to like. You feel me, E? I feel you on that. Yeah, watching him sulk up and down and scream and yell. And,
all that extraness.
The extraness, good way to put it. But he can coach. And he coached those guys up yesterday, and they clogged up that interior. Nobody really beats Florida in the rebounding game overall, but they kept it close enough. They ran the shot clock down. If they'd hit shots, man, it would have been a really disappointing and in many ways surprising exit for Florida in week 1. If UConn could have, they missed, what was it, 28 3-pointers? Is that right? Does that sound right? Can that be right? Could UConn have missed 28 threes yesterday? Can you go to the box score for me there, E.T., as we continue along? Man, that Walter Clayton boy. Bill Raftery likes to say of young men who step up in big-time situations, he likes to say of them that they've got onions. Dang, Walter Clayton needs a stool for his onions in postgame, boy. Onions. I mean, unbelievably big game-winning shots down the stretch, showing why he's a first-team All-American, showing why right now he's playing as good and dominant a basketball as anybody in the tournament. And the beauty for Florida, the reality is this, and they're probably the only team in the tournament. Look, I don't know enough to go 1-10 at Duke and Houston and some of the other power programs. And again, Florida did escape with a 2-point win yesterday, so we're not talking about a team that just blistered the two-time defending champs by 20. But the reality is Florida has gotten so deep, good, and confident that they can have a couple of main guys no-show, and it doesn't kill them. It doesn't mean they lose. And the perfect example yesterday was a dominant player for Florida who yesterday went AWOL for the most part, not totally. Flashed a couple of plays late. I'll just put it this way. I think I saw Liam McNeely's mom on TV yesterday.
So many times.
I think I saw her more than I saw Alex Condon. Because my guy Alex Condon went AWOL, man. He did finish with a little bit of a flurry. He got up to 7 rebounds, but just 5 points in 28 minutes. Just 5 points. Only took 2 shots. 3 for 8 from the line. Oh, I told you it was going to go down when it happens. It's going to be about free throw shooting, be a big part of it. And yesterday, that was fitting the narrative. They missed 12 second-half free throws.
I remember that conversation.
Keep UConn in the game. But, man, Walter Clayton stepped up late when they needed plays. But, back to the point, UConn took the lead with like 19:37 to go in the second half, and they held that lead all the way down to what, the 2-3 minute mark?
They went 8 for 29 from behind the line.
8, so they missed 21.
Uh-huh.
Missed 21. And by the way, one of those just a throwaway last second three. I mean, say what you want, it don't matter. It was a 5-point win, right? I mean, they an undefended 35-point three-pointer was the last bucket of the game. Whatever, they all count. 77-75, though. Gators advance. Not a ton of madness has really encroached on the tournament yet. I mean, it's been, for the most part, pretty chalky. Not entirely, but with the Sweet 16 now set, you got Auburn, a 1 seed, taking on Michigan, a 5. Michigan beat Texas A&M on Saturday. You got Michigan State, the 2 seed. They're on through Ole Miss from the SEC, number 6. That phrase, from the SEC, keep that close. So there's a Sweet 16 with the 1, the 2, the 5, and the 6. Florida's region had the biggest surprise, and that was Arkansas as a 10 seed, knocking out the 2 seed St. John. So, supposedly that should help, but you've got Arkansas from the SEC taking on Texas Tech in one of those semis. Texas Tech's kind of rolled through their first couple of games, couple double-digit wins. Then you have the Gators, of course, against Maryland, who survived with the finish of the weekend. They've got that freshman queen, Derek Queen, and with like 5 seconds to go, they inbounded. They gave it to the big fella, said, go get us a win, and he did. Did you see that shot, E?
Did.
That was a tough shot, ladies and gentlemen. Look up Derek Queen's game winner for Maryland yesterday.
Nice little kiss off the glass.
I mean, it was like a combo of about 3 different kind of shots that you would take. He kind of went, through the lane like it would be a layup. He kind of faded away like it might be a little bit of a fadeaway jumper. But then he, as he continued to float, kissed it off the glass. Really high level of difficulty. Goes down as the clock hits 000. It'll be Florida and Maryland. That game will be Thursday night, 7:39. It's like they made it just for me, E.T.
Oh, yeah.
They gave me the early game, 7:39, man. That baby's put to bed by 10 o'clock at the latest, and we'll see if Florida will continue their march on into the Elite Eight. Nothing right now that would tell me that they're still not Final Four bound. And I know Arkansas is dangerous, and Calipari beat Pitino this weekend. But at the end of the day, the 2 seed's gone, and that's never a bad thing. I was, quite frankly, hoping for the 12 seed to take care of Maryland late last night, but Maryland, clutch, gets the win there. Florida, by the way, already a 6.5-point favorite. I'll say already. Has been named a 6.5-point favorite. So Florida, Maryland, Texas Tech, Arkansas. What do we got there? 2 more SEC teams. Houston and Purdue in the top half of the Midwest bracket. That's a 1 versus a 4. And then Tennessee and Kentucky at the bottom. That's 2 more from the SEC, and that's a 2 versus a 3. So there's a region 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Did I miss one? Oh, yeah. And then the East region, Duke 1 and 4. Bama the 2. BYU the 6. By the way, Bama, there's another SEC point that we're getting to here. Total them up. 7 from the SEC. Yeah, I'd say the stories of the conference strength and how it ranks all time according, to the experts, both media and within the game, coaches. I'd say the hyperbole ended up matching. It wasn't a great start in the bottom of the conference, the one you want to argue whether or not they're bubble teams, but the reason those bubble teams got in was on display this weekend because 7 of the teams they had to play once or twice this year are Sweet 16 level teams, or at least they've proven that through their tournament matchups. And so that's why you found, the Oklahomas and the Texases. Hey, Arkansas did not have a winning record in conference. If you're in that, if you go have a winning record in your conference, you shouldn't even be in the tournament crowd. Yeah, well, that's why. You can't. It's apples to oranges. St. John's was the best team in the Big East by a mile. The best team in a pretty good league. Creighton, UConn, Xavier, others, Villanova down the line. It's a good league. St. John's was the cream of the crop. They won the regular season and the conference tournament, a 2 seed. Arkansas went 8-10 in the SEC. And that's a matchup, that's a day, that's a game. That was a head-scratching, late game coaching decision by Rick Pitino, who kept the Big East Player of the Year on the bench for the last 431, while his team got outscored by 7 in that time frame. Wow. And then had a contentious media session about it afterwards. Perhaps we'll dive into that a little bit later. Perhaps not. We got lots of madness to discuss. So there's kind of the primer of where we sit. What is in front of Florida is first Maryland, and then the winner of Texas Tech and Arkansas. Good luck picking that one. Both those teams are scary, by the way. You get this deep in the tournament, you should be nervous, no matter who you are. Whether you are Houston taking on Purdue, whether you, Kentucky, Tennessee. You don't think Tennessee's nervous? They lost to Kentucky both times they faced them this year. Hey, Jag fan, that give you a little PTSD? If you're around back in the 90s, 1999, Jags a better team than the Tennessee Titans. Titans beat them twice in the regular season. Jags got him again in March Madness. Got him again in the playoffs at home. Lost to him again. So that's a nervous matchup for Tennessee there, the 2 and the 3 there. Duke, Arizona, you better bet Duke's nervous. Arizona's playing really good. Went to the Big Ten Conference Final, had a nice opening to the weekend. But showed no doubt one of those 4-13 matchups, had a 30-point win, then beat Oregon from the Big Ten yesterday. Big Ten, boy, they got off to a hot start, right? Weren't they like 9-0, 10-0 in their first 10 games? So you got Duke, Arizona there. You bet they'll be nervous. Point being now, now being, and by the way, now we're missing a Sweet 16 where there are like 4 double-digit seeds, the kind of stuff we've seen a lot of the last few years, haven't we? We've seen 12s and 13s and win not just that first game, but win a couple. Get to the Sweet 16. Not this go-round. Been chalky. Again, South region, the 1, the 5, the 2, and the 6. The West region, the 1, the 4, the 3, and then the only double-digit outlier, Arkansas, the 10. Go over to the Midwest. It's 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Houston, Tennessee, Kentucky, Purdue. And then in the East, it's 1, 3, 4, and then the 6 is in there, BYU, who beat the 3, Wisconsin. So I see you in there pouring over. Are you pouring over brackets in there, E.T.? What are you doing in there?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the brackets right now.
I can tell. I can tell when you start to grind. So you have no idea where things stand after week 1? You were just kind of riding along and just kind of knew who you had?
Yeah, I knew who I had. I
got them checked off, buddy, the whole weekend. Jink, 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 jink. I'm looking here. I'm looking at I'm scanning what has to happen later so that I avoid just devastating wheel consequences that sit over there.
Yeah, the main. I'm just following Purdue, man. I just need Purdue to make
you got
it.
Purdue, Houston there. That's a big one. That's a big one for you. I've got, that, by the way, is a region where the one of the 3 of us will probably, and I can't tell you for sure. I know there's a lot of commonalities in our brackets outside of that region. That's the one region that I think the guy who gets the Final Four team right is going to be safe.
Oh, man.
No matter what happens other places, because I have Tennessee coming out and going to the Final Four.
Yeah.
You have Purdue going to the Final Four. Hicken has Houston going to the Final Four. So we have 3. It's the only place that we're completely different. We all 3 have Duke. We all 3 have Florida. I'm just talking about Final Four level.
Right. And we all got Auburn.
Nah, Hicken has Michigan State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a couple of nuanced differences there. Like, I'm the only one that had Texas Tech on through to the 8. Y'all had St. John, so I can make up some point. Bottom line is this. After all said and done, first round, you guys both went 27-5. I went 26-6. So that's a 1-point lead for you 2 over me. Move on to the Sweet 16. You, me, and Baby Makes 3. All 3 have 12 of our Sweet 16 alive, so that's tacks on another 24 points. And at the end of the day, there is a slim, slight, tiny sliver of a 1-point difference. You and Dan would be tied with, what was that, 27 and 24. You'd have 51, and I would have 50.
Oh, it's getting close, man.
And like some of the region, so and basically because of I said some commonality in who we pick. There's really about 5 spotlight games that are left in these next 4. Ultimately, it probably could very well come down to that final where Hick and I both have Florida and you have Duke. That could happen. Because if Purdue loses, it'll be a gut punch, but it won't be an eliminator.
Right. Take
it from a guy. I've lived on that the last couple of years. I'll get a gut punch. It looks like I'm all but eliminated, but if this, that, and the other can happen, and it does, and sometimes it's not super unlikely, but we'll get the brackets out together and see what the biggest hits and misses were. If you had anything to do over again, as we sit here, like I would be riding Houston. I'm not gonna lie. If I had it to do over again, Houston would be my pick coming out of that Tennessee Purdue, disagreement.
It'll be so fun if it's Florida and Duke in the finals, man.
Yeah.
We might have to do what, in golf terms, press.
There are, those right now, Cooper Flagg and Walter Clayton. I guess he's the third. He's Walter Clayton Jr. for a long time. What happened? I know he's had a baby. Wasn't that would be the third, wouldn't it? When you have the baby, you don't suddenly become the third, do you?
Right.
Wasn't he Walter Clayton Jr. when he came to the Gators?
I thought so.
Yeah. Or maybe the guy just misspoke yesterday, but one of the announcers, was calling him Walter Clayton the third. I think that would be his baby boy, maybe, is what happened. We got our bio notes maybe a little bit, confused, so to speak. All right, so, yeah, much more on the Gators. Much more on March Madness. We'll kick around the football. We always do. In the theater of sports opinion, the Jaguars offseason now with everything that, we haven't had the red carpet walk and introduced our actors and actresses, and all the gate receipts are starting to come in, and let's just color the league and its followers unimpressed with where we sit on our restart. I think that's fair to say. If you take in the opinions of the signings and the depth chart with still things to be done, The overall response from the audience is meh. We got Fred Taylor today, the Monday morning running back, so we'll kick it around with our buddy Freddie T as well. So up and at 'em. Here we go. Braves made some moves yesterday. Say this because the season now in Major League Baseball is all but upon us. It's first pitch. We'll just discount the Japanese soiree over there. Coming up here in the next couple of weeks. And the Braves have unloaded a young pitcher, still relatively young pitcher, who's had some big-time success and who most had penciled into a starting role on a staff that already had questions. He was traded yesterday for a bag of beans. A bit surprising. Fill in those blanks on the other side as well. Are up and rolling here. We are live inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Buckle up and grab the wheel.
Keep your foot in it. Keep your foot in it.
This Sunday at Martinsville.
That's how you do it.
NASCAR is revved up by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Golf lovers, listen up. UF Health Jacksonville is bringing you an exciting day on the greens with their inaugural Golf Classic Friday, April 25th at Amelia River Club. It's your chance to tee up for a cause supporting Northeast Florida's premier academic health center while enjoying a top-notch golf experience. Sponsorships are available. Whether you're looking to showcase your brand or just play a great round of golf for a great cause, now's the time to get involved. Visit ufhealthjacks.org/golf to learn more.
All right, gentlemen, we've trained for this. We've battled the elements. But if there's one thing we can't afford, it's letting the heat take us out before the big game.
But Coach, the AC at my house is busted. I barely got any sleep last night.
Well, Johnson, you should have called Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. They're the real MVPs. Now let's cue the cool music.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Cool Cats. The coolest cats in town.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, man. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
Mia here, and let me tell you about one of our area's best resorts, the Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa. The Sawgrass Marriott is not only a great destination for a vacation, but it is also a great destination for dining on the Florida's first coast. 1912 Ocean Bar and Rooftop is now open on Ponte Vedra Boulevard, featuring Ponte Vedra's only oceanfront rooftop bar and lounge. Serving finely crafted cocktails and delectable eats, it's open daily from 4 to 10 with complimentary valet parking.
This is 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
With so many competitive pest services in town, you might wonder why Kingfish Pest Control's business is booming while similar companies seem to be struggling. It all comes down to service, affordability, and effectiveness. Kingfish Pest Control is a local family-owned company who delivers on their promises to effectively control pests like ants, spiders, roaches, termites, mosquitoes, and more. Your home is their priority, so call today and discover why your neighbors and your buddy Hayes Carlion trust Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjacks.com.
The First Tee Tour Card is back for 2025 and better than ever, with access to over 15 of North Florida's best courses and new this year, local participating businesses. This card is your ticket to saving hundreds. First Tee North Florida is a local nonprofit who build character in youth participants through the game of golf. This annual fundraiser enables this amazing organization the ability to build game changers. Grab your tour card for just $99 at tourcard.org for a list of participating partners, benefits, and restrictions.
Here's Linda Beaver.
At Beaver Toyota, we believe your experience should be more than just buying a car. It should be a lifetime of confidence, care, and trust. We're proud to offer a lifetime warranty, lifetime oil changes, and lifetime customer service. We're not just here to sell you a car. We're here to establish a lifelong relationship that you can always count on. It's simple. You deserve the best and shouldn't settle for less. Visit Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, where we're ready to give you peace of mind for a lifetime. We're here to wow you.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
The drill loves the ladies, and the ladies love the drill, E.T. We've always said that.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, the Guganellas are strong out there. I learned this weekend. Got to play in the golf event. What a great time. So many friends of the station and of the program that you don't even know, but so many of them talk about how much their wives love to listen. We love hearing that, don't we? Huh?
Oh, we love the ladies.
Shout out. A lot of you out there may know Spence. Mark Spencer, very good golfer, played in some of the what's that President's Cup deal, the Timuquana Cup. What's it called? One they do every year. Anyway, y'all know what I'm saying. The big amateur versus pro event. That squad is a winner this weekend, but he said his wife listens all the time. Our very first match, E.T., we had 5 9-hole matches. So just a ton of fun, and man, just lucky to have got to play. We did good. We finished. We were second in our flight by a point. Could say we choked, but that's a matter of semantics. Anyway, that's not the point. So we get to the tee, right? And I, you know how it is with us. If you meet a guy and he's a doctor, henceforth, when you see him, what is he? Who is he? He's Doc.
Doc.
Right.
Moving forward.
Sure.
Like a coach. If somebody coach you your whole life, that's coach.
You do your damnedest to remember the last name, and he becomes Doc Murphy or Doc T, whoever.
But it's what up, Doc?
Right, sure. Which is great. It's a term of respect and endearment.
Absolutely.
So our very first opponent is Doc Stevens. Okay, GP, I believe is what we say in the lingo, practitioner. Anyway, so he comes up to me on the first day. I've not met him before, and he's very nice. He's talking. Immediately he's asking about the show, and he said, yeah, I did something for you today on the range. I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, I went out to the range. I was kind of in a hurry. I hit 10 drives, 10 chips, and had an extra large beer. What do we got there, E?
Oh, tell me.
That's a 1010 XL. Huh? Shout out.
Shout out.
I appreciate it. Man, I didn't see that one coming with Victor Hovland yesterday, boy. What? Hey, Justin Thomas, man. Feel free to finish. You're going to be spared my normal acerbic reaction to golfers choking on the weekend. It's the one that I guess annoys me the most, but really it should be the one that I'm most familiar with. All of us, really. We all choke in golf, don't we? You do, whether it's your own expectation, whether it's a little penny ante putt you have on number 13 at the bumpy greens of your home course, wherever it is. We all have our chokes in golf. Where did that come from? And no, I did not have a particular moment. I feel like I'm setting up some big, massive fail. No, there was no, getting the shanks in the hole-in-one challenge. It wasn't that kind of weekend for me. But, man, you want to know how mercurial this sport is, E.T.? This sport that we call the PGA Tour. Look, we just had him in town last week. The best of the best. Rory McIlroy wins it at the Players. The guy who won yesterday at Valspar, yeah, he shot 80 at the Players last Thursday. Missed the cut. It was his third straight missed cut. You see, Victor Hovland at the Genesis went 5 over through 2 rounds. He got the MC hammer. Then came to Florida for the Arnold Palmer Invitational down there in Orlando. Went +5 MC hammer, get out of town. Came up the coast here to play the TPC Sawgrass, the best of the best. Went 80, 68 +4 MC hammer. Bam, get out of town. Opened the first round at the Valspar with just a ho-hum 70. Charged down the stretch yesterday, shot 67 in his final round, chased down Justin Thomas. Again, I didn't watch the golf. It's the least amount of golf I've watched. I don't know. I can't tell you the last time I watched less golf. And it looks like it was a good one to watch. I mean, those are 2 pretty big names, 2 major winners. Hovland won a major, right? But Hovland chasing down Justin Thomas. And Hovland wins. And again, where'd that come from? Miscut at the Genesis at Torrey. Miscut at the Arnold Palmer in Bay Hill. Miscut here at the Players. Innisbrook plays tough, man. That Copperhead course down there's no joke. Those scores weren't outrageous. This is 11 under 1. But completely unexpected. And isn't that golf, man? Could be a part of your 20 handicap game. It could. It's just something that's never right, and then suddenly it is. Or something that is just slightly off, and suddenly it's not, no matter your level. That's what I feel like Victor Hovland did here. This dude hadn't made a cut since early February, bro. March 23rd. It's an eternity. But coming through yesterday. All right, let me personalize the next story. ET, it is right now one of my favorite. It's really one of my favorite. It might be the favorite.
Okay.
Sports moment that I have, sports memory.
Oh, okay.
Like sports experience.
Okay.
Okay. We all have, them to various
Definitely.
degrees. And I'm lucky enough, especially because of what I do. I got a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'm up there with you.
But I think, yeah, you are. But I think the one for me was the Braves making that World Series run back in 2021 and just getting aggressive and setting it up and going with my dad and my brother and my 2 sons to a World Series game in Atlanta. Now, it ended up being even more perfect. The story is going to age like a beautiful wine because we went up, saw a game. The Braves won the game, so we got to go to a win. The Braves ended up winning the World Series, so we got to go to a World Series win in a year that the Braves won the World Series. It couldn't have gone any better. The pitcher on that cold, rainy night in Atlanta, Game 3, I suppose it was threw a no-hitter through like 5 1/3 innings. He threw shutout ball. He literally has one of the best postseason ERAs going. I think it's 1.6 something. And he amassed some innings early in his career. There was a time where it was thought that this might be the next Braves ace. And that guy's Ian Anderson. But a second Tommy John, he kind of lost his stuff. His stats in spring training are crazy misleading. And here's why. He's got a 2.65 ERA in spring training. And that sounds pretty good, right? You got an ERA under 3, especially as a starting pitcher. You're doing a pretty good job. But listen to this. In 17 innings, only 8 strikeouts, but in 17 innings, he's walked 18 batters. Yeah, that 2.65 ERA is a mirage, man. You can't walk a batter an inning and survive in Major League Baseball. You just can't do it. And the Braves have waited, and it was assumed that Anderson was going to get a spot in the starting rotation. And it's not just they traded him yesterday. It's they traded him for a bag of beans. Anderson's still just 26. He was the number 3 overall pick back in 2016. 3 Major League seasons are parts of. He's just won 22 games, though. 3.97 ERA overall. Pitched in 4 postseason games, and 5 hitless innings. Game 3 of the World Series against Houston up there in Atlanta. Game the Braves won, and again, that would, for me, maintain a spot really, really, really high up when it comes to the old sports memories and experiences, E.T.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. The Kansas City Royals have a problem with our guy, Jack Caglione, Jack Tani. Oh, it's not because he's not doing what he's supposed to. It's because he's doing more than he should be. And the Royals, who did not have plans and designs on putting the former Gator right into the lineup to start the season, are going to face now incredible fan backlash if they don't do just that. Caglione, E.T., this spring training has just 17 at-bats. In those 17 at-bats, he's got 3 home runs. He's driven in 7. He's got an OPS of 1.235, and he's showing that combo of just raw power, size, plate discipline. He's got an overpowering presence. He does share something else in common with Ohtani. We talk about him, Jack Tani, because of his, ability to go both ways, right? He was a great starting pitcher for Florida and also, a tremendous hitting prospect that got him drafted where it did. But the future could be really, really bright there. That Bobby Witt Jr. for the Royals is super. Real quick to put a bow, though, on the Anderson move by the Braves and what it means, the trickle down to the pitching staff and just what they, plan on doing there. We'll see. But the part of the problem here is that they trade, not the problem, part of the reality here, a lot of times you can tell what a team feels about a guy based on what they're willing to get in return.
Right.
And this just feels like, well, we're going to cut this guy. We got no roster options left. It's either he makes the big league squad or he's gone. And so they traded him for a guy who can't get anybody out. Yeah. Tell me really it's just about getting rid of a guy. They traded to the Angels. The pitcher they got, his name is Jose Suarez. He spent his entire career with the Angels. He started 34 games from 21 and 22, then struggled really bad in 23. The last 2 years, he's moved and bounced around the rotation, the bullpen, and the minors. His ERA last year was like 6.8. It's like a 6 ERA the last 2 or 3 years combined. And, again, good luck with whatever, reincarnation plans you have for that kid. Meanwhile, it's onto a season where that starting staff, maybe it tells you a little bit how confident they are in Spencer Strider, but even with Strider, there's still a hole down there at the bottom of the rotation. So we shall see, as they say. All right, I got some Jag news, a football fix. Again, this is more just a kind of a feeling. I don't have a chart here or a column or a specific grade. Just a kind of overall feeling that I get on what the rest of the league and the fans and the media think about what we've been doing so far this offseason. All of which, by the way, will mean nothing once we get to October, but nonetheless is there now. And, man, I keep seeing now more and more player rankings, mock drafts that are making that 5 pick have a few more options than I think we've seen it kind of narrowed into at this point. I see more and more where Travis Hunter is available at 5. Seeing more and more where Abdul Carter is available at 5. I'm seeing mock drafts where Abdul Carter does land with the Jags, or Travis Hunter does land with the Jags. In many cases, because Mason Graham is going higher now. There are more and more mock drafts and player value boards that have Mason Graham 3rd, and he's going 3rd or 4th. And again, a lot of this is going to be dependent on what they do with the quarterbacks up there. But we got a football fix and more when we return. We are up and rolling. Gators survive, as does a lot of the chalk through the first 2 games of March Madness. We are inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Florida Gators headed to San Francisco in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament. They opened as 5.5-point favorites over Maryland, 154.5 the total. The Gators advanced to the win yesterday over UConn. In the other West Region semifinal, Texas Tech, 5.5-point favorites over Arkansas, 145.5 the total. Other Sweet 16 matchups of note, Alabama laying 4.5 against BYU Thursday in Newark, New Jersey. Tennessee and Kentucky meet Friday in Indianapolis. The Volunteers are 4.5-point favorites over the Wildcats. Auburn Tigers at Atlanta South Region laying 7.5 against Michigan. $250 bonus and you open up a G-Bank Visa signature card. Visa.com/GBank. Mike Sennett, 1010XL.
Plumbing problem? AC not blowing cool? Septic tank backing up? No need to call 3 different companies. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. At Duck Duck Rooter, we do it all. Plumbing, septic, and air conditioning with expert technicians in each department. One company, one call, one easy bill. No hassle, no runaround, just fast professional service from highly skilled techs who know their stuff. Need help? Call 904-862-6769 today and let Duck Duck Rooter handle it all. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gator! Hey folks, Hicken here for Zero Res. You're going to want to beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Hey, and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Don't forget about your air ducts. Your air ducts sort of like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air quality suffers. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them Dan or 1010XL sent you. Spell it forwards or backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean. Zero Res.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you spend a lot of time talking about diamonds, but what about some of the colored stones we see?
Frank, when you talk about colored stones, there are literally hundreds of varieties and species in the gem kingdom. As certified gemologists, we're trained gemologically on the identification of each of these and can separate the man-made synthetics and imitations from the real thing. But at Underwoods, we can go to the next step. At Underwoods, we're active buyers of loose-colored stones in the world markets, so we have an understanding of the values of colored stones as they relate back to the various qualities. In fact, just like diamonds, we buy most of our colored stones loose, then create the pieces of jewelry to hold the gems. You can be assured not only of the authenticity and quality of our colored stone jewelry, but also of the value. So if you're in the market for a fine quality emerald, sapphire, ruby, aquamarine, amethyst, citrine, tourmaline, peridot, or any other gemstone, come by and see us at Underwoods.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 15% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. JJ here with SentinXL. You'll be assured of a quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, back here on the drill. It's the Monday morning quarterback. Lots to kick around. A lot of people asking, did Derek Queen travel on that last shot, E?
I don't think so.
I'll have to watch it again. Watching it live, it never looked like a travel to me.
Yeah, now I got to go look at it again.
It looked like he went to his left and then kind of went off his feet as if he was going to take a layup, just kind of faded, maybe like I think that if that same footwork had happened in the middle of the congested lane, no one would have blinked twice. So I'm going to have to watch it again, though, because more than one person on the text line this morning, Design My Lifetime Enclosures, has asked about was there a potential travel there. Here's a quick primer on Maryland and why I feel like Florida will have an easier time with the 4 seed than they did the 8 seed. And Maryland has some top-level talent. They hit some big threes. They trailed in that game yesterday as many as, I think, 12 points against Colorado State. Colorado State's got that Nick Clifford. We talked about him late last week. And, it's almost, by the way, if you're a Gator fan and you're sitting there, do you want, probably the better team, Maryland, or do you want that one guy who can kind of take over a tournament and a game that, kind of Steph Curry did that year for Davidson, right?
Yep.
That guy can't go all the way, but he may have one more in him. And that Nick Clifford, buddy, is smooth. Next stop NBA on him, Colorado State player, but instead it will be Maryland. But here's the deal with Maryland. They got no depth. They play 7 guys. They're really that's been their MO really all year. And so Florida's got that wave of freshness that they can run at them with already, quite honestly, superior talent at every position except maybe Queen's position. He's an all-freshman player, but again, Florida won yesterday, and the beauty of Florida and their depth and how it comes in. If Maryland has a game where their Condon completely disappears, they got no chance. Florida can have a game where Alex Condon has 3 points, misses, or 7 points, misses 5 free throws, or 7 rebounds. 3 points, 7 rebounds, I think it was. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a little more than that. But complete non-factor. There have been games where either Will Richard or Elijah Martin, for whatever reason, is taken out of the flow, out of the game. They just have guys where some days Halk will be dominant and others he'll just be, and some days Condon or Aberdeen for Pete's sake. Chinyelu looks more and more valuable with each and every week. The big man inside, just deep. But just back to the quicker question, and that is that not a lot of depth. Not a lot of depth there for Maryland. So big, and that's an advantage for Florida against anyone they play, but in this particular case, not a lot of depth for the Maryland Terrapins. Gators 6.5-point favorite. Whether or not they cover it, I could care less. Let's just keep marching on as long as we can. Hey, the Sharks got to win this weekend. They won their opener. Their head coach is going to join us coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, Jason Gibson. So we'll keep you up to date on the Sharks schedule. I believe their home opener is next on the sked. Might have a couple of weeks till then. I don't know. We'll get the particulars.
April 6th.
April 6th, yeah.
It's a Sunday, actually.
Okay. But yeah, they went on the road at 46-25 maybe.
That sounds about right.
Did I see? So, yeah, good for them. Get a win on the road. They'll come back home. And, Coach Gibson had told us he kind of figured some stuff out. He thought at the second half of last year when they went 500 in their second half of games. And look, it pays off here, right? And good to come out of the gates with the victory. So the Sharks and their home opener is going to be part of the summer, sports schedule around here. We look forward to following them. And with that, we'll cue up a football fix. Brought to you this morning by the home course, the Jones Creek Golf Club. Tee it high and let it fly. Can't wait to get back out on the home course. And by the Sharks. Get those tickets at jacksharks.com. Evan Ingram has made history. Did you see this,
No.
Yeah. Evan Ingram has made history. He's
that boy do.
He's the first tight end in NFL history to do this. To wear number 1. Yes, he's got number 1. Now, Ingram wore 17 here. That's already taken in Denver. And then he wore, I think, 88 with the Giants. That is kind of retired for Demaryius Thomas in Denver. The last time he got to choose a tight end number, that when his were taken, the number 1 wasn't available for tight ends. They just recently come available with the new, allocation numbers. And back in the day, man, you weren't playing D-line wearing number 6.
No, sir.
Right. And you weren't playing tight end wearing number 1. Well, now you can, and he is the first one to wear 1 at the position.
So he's in Denver?
He's 101. Yeah, he signed with the Broncos, right?
Shout out.
Yeah. Yeah, Evan Ingram signed with the Broncos last week. I would expect him to be a real nice security blanket there for Bo Nix and his continued development. I'm going to say this, and again, I'm not going to read a column here. I'm not going to provide expert grades or scouting, prognoses. No depth charts involved in the following opinion. Just the sense I get, I'm reading now that all of the flash and dash is over, the free agency is completely finished, and depth charts are what they are in front of you. Hey, I no juice or buzz or sense of accomplishment coming from others at all about just where the Jaguars are in this reset. No one believes in, I shouldn't say no one, not a lot of belief out there that anything they've done to this point is going to be a real big part of any massive improvement that comes. Now, the Jags would tell you different. It's floor raising, but there's nothing sexy. There's no sizzle, no all-stars brought in. The receiving core has gotten drastically less productive. I mean, drastically. And if you trot out if you're serious about making Trevor Lawrence better, and it's not all lip service, and you trot out a receiving group of starters, Brian Thomas Jr., yay, and De'Ami Brown and Parker Washington, then I have to call into question your earnestness when you make the declaration that you're going to do everything you can to make Trevor better. And I'm going to be really incredibly, shockingly disappointed. And I don't know how we can budge off of it here at this point. There's no rookie receiver you're getting in round 3 that's going to immediately make you think, okay, the core is great now. I'm going to be really curious. It'll be interesting to see it play out. Why keeping Christian Kirk for one more year before the turnover? I mean, forget the roadblock. Sometimes you need a roadblock because the guy that's going to have the clear road in front of him is going to go off the lane and right over the cliff. We'll see. Again, There's no theoretic. There's no tangible data to insert here. That's just the over. You feel that, E? If you ask right now, just blindly, you want some NFL expert. Okay, give me your off-season grades for every franchise. C+ Sally's what we're going to be down here is what it feels like. By the way, the new group apparently not real impressed with the roster that they took over. The Jaguars are the only team to re-sign none of their unrestricted free agents. When Cleveland re-signed linebacker Devin Bush, the Jags were the last team left to not bring back one single player of their own, and that doesn't include some of these that we have talked about being relieved of their roster spot. Ingram and Kirkins, more specifically. Seeing more and more speculation that Mason Graham to 5 at the Jags may not be as done a deal as we think, and a lot of it is coming from sudden interest that might be there at picks 3 and 4. And if that happens, and if the quarterbacks continue to shuffle forward, we might be left with draft day a realistic scenario where either Abdul Carter and or Travis Hunter are there. Oh, this tangled web of draft talk. Pick and Arrival, more come your way next. That's a football fix. Up and rolling, booming at you live inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
You know how superheroes have these secret identities?
Who is that girl? She's Lauren Brooks.
I'm 1/3 of an elite crime-fighting team backed by an anonymous millionaire.
On Helmets and Heels from noon to 2.
At your service.
On 1010XL.
Hey, Jacksonville. You know what you get when you play a country song backwards. You get your wife back, your truck back, your dog, your SUV, and your job back. Well, at Garber Auto Mall, you don't have to play the country song backwards. We understand that bad things happen to good people, and we're here to help. With 8 all-American brands, Ford, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Chevy, Buick, GMC, and a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles in stock. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, it only costs for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Life is about choices and the decisions you make. I'm David Robbins with Epstein & Robbins. If you're convicted of a DUI, you'll have to face severe consequences. Walking through the doors of the courthouse or appearing at a bond hearing can be extremely intimidating. Without the right lawyer, you're likely to make the wrong decision. Let our team help you make the right decisions in court. Epstein & Robbins, the right choice.
Epstein & Robbins, fighting for your rights since 1975.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Share a cup of coffee and range balls with Dan, Jeff, and PGA pros. Tour news, tips, and inside info.
Sounds like a lot of club for this young man.
Brunch with the Tour.
Brought to you by Clearwater Irrigation, 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy, you look worried.
Worried? I'm apoplectic!
You're what now?
I'm freaking out, Jason. Stupid water heater crapped out, so I haven't showered since Thursday. I start smelling a little funky, blow my big corporate job interview tomorrow, I'll end up settling for some dead-end career selling spatulas on the internet.
Dude, stay cool.
There's nothing cool about a cold shower, Jason. I mean, I know how that sounds, but...
Bueller Air and Plumbing can get a new water heater installed today. The day you call. You could be smelling fresh again by dinner time.
Wait, you can do that?
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Is that cooler?
Oh, yeah.
Well, life moves pretty fast. If you spend much more time smelling like this, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Tax season is here, and your refund can go further at Big Chief Tire. Frank Frangie here. Put the extra cash to work by investing in your vehicle, whether it's overdue maintenance, brake repairs, or new tires. Their skilled technicians will help you get the most out of every dollar. With 5 Jacksonville locations, fair prices, and trusted service, Big Chief Tire has everything you need to hit the road with confidence. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Mia here. It's that time again. The Ready, Set, Go sales event is back and going on now at Arlington Toyota. Just announced, 0% on select new Toyota models has been extended. 0%. You can even get financing as low as 1.99% on select new trucks. Arlington has over 80 Tacomas and over 75 Tundras available. Shop the Ready, Set, Go sales event at Arlington Toyota now through March 31st. In person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295 or at arlingtontoyota.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. The number 1 seeded Florida men's basketball team is still dancing through March Madness after securing a narrow 2-point victory over 2-time defending champion UConn. Walter Clayton Jr. finished with a game-high 23, scoring 13 of those in the final 8 minutes, and hit 5 3-pointers to lead the Gators to their 8th consecutive win. Elijah Martin tossed in 18 and Will Richards scored 15 to snap the Gators' 5-game losing streak to the Huskies and lift Florida to the Sweet 16. The Gators returned to the court Thursday against 4th seed Maryland. The Terrapins defeated 12 seed Colorado State by 1 at the buzzer in Seattle to advance. Florida is 2-2 all-time against Maryland, last facing the Terrapins in a 2-point loss in 2021. I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. It's 58 degrees at 7 o'clock. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Ladies and gents, please put your hands together as Dan Hicken enters the studio.
Nicely, gently.
Trolling us this morning, I feel like.
He's feeling good. He's feeling real good.
There's always, after that first weekend, like a couple of teams you wish you'd have been a little higher on. Houston's fallen into that category for me. I'd pick them to win. You picked them in that region, so it doesn't matter. That's the region that's going to decide the wheel spin. He's got Purdue. I got Tennessee.
I got a couple still out there, though, that are going to have to come through, where I kind of got like I need BYU to beat Bama. That's a biggie.
Ooh.
That's a biggie right there.
Yeah.
And I need Michigan State to beat Auburn. If those two things happen, then I'm gold.
Oh, you're golden. I need
but Bama's favored.
Yeah, but at the same time,
and Auburn will be favored. But I got 2 underdogs.
But at the same time, I can answer with I've got Texas Tech. Y'all have St. John's.
No, yes, they're gone. By the way, you got a huge advantage there.
That's
you
what
got
I mean.
The favorite,
right?
Yeah.
My point is that but I don't like. We're so close. We're tied, basically. Y'all got 27 in round 1. We all have 12 of the 16.
Yes.
And we're within a point of each other, and there's just a few differences where it's going to – but that region, that E has Purdue going to the 4. I got Tennessee going to the 4.
All you need is Texas Tech to win, and you're Well, again,
because I got Tennessee down there and Florida winning it.
Oh, that's right.
You
Tennessee,
you could have the BYU. There's a lot going on.
Yeah. There's not a lot. There's really 3-4 games. I mean, honestly, with us,
it's like
just
it's
so people
always
know,
like that.
it's we're all right there. It's like 51 for me, 51 for E, and 50 for Jeff, or something like that.
That's exactly what it is.
Is that what it is? Yeah. So it's as far
Having
as
really good I mean, 12 out of 16 is a good year.
yeah.
But it's been chalky. I mean, there's not
Very
a lot. There's
chalky.
only one double-digit seed.
And
in
he
the
still
16.
needs Purdue. He's going to need
Yeah.
Purdue. If Purdue gets knocked out
by Houston. That's going to hurt.
He's in big trouble.
Because I don't lose any ground there because I had Gonzaga running.
Right.
And then I can get Tennessee, and then it'll come down to Tennessee-Houston between you and I.
Purdue-Houston is a huge game for E.
Should have went chalk.
But see, I'm gonna fall behind 3 points behind three more behind one of you two, no matter how that goes.
Yes,
because you both have Tennessee at the bottom
but you'll
for now.
catch up with Texas Tech, and we both have St.
That's right.
John's.
So
it's wide open.
It probably, to be
What
honest,
if it came down to the first round and at 1 point?
Well, it might be
because we had a 1 point lead on you going in.
Yeah, and I tanked it. I was like 20.
We had 27. You had 26.
I know, but late, I got 6 of my losses all came like the last 3 games. I was like 26-3, and with the 3 left, and they all,
For me, the big hope came Friday night when Houston held off Gonzaga and BYU held off Whiskey. If I'd lost either of those, I'd have been hurt.
I was hoping that Gonzaga was going to pull that thing out, but either way.
But what a great win for the Gators. Now, there's 2 ways to look at it. The fan in you immediately thinks, man, we've said this all the time. Every natty champ has a game like that.
Except UConn the last 2 years.
Right.
But yeah,
well,
typically.
2 years ago they did, but last year they didn't. They had double-digit wins in every game. They had won 13 in a row, though. They are tournament
He's
tough.
a good coach. He's easy to dislike. But
very easy to dislike. Good debate on social media. I've never seen a coach go from being likable to, like,
the most disliked.
Despised. Yeah. And he proved it again when he walked off the court. And what he said is
it's like he's got Tourette's or something. I do think he has some sort of mental disorder.
I'm like, Danny, I thought you got a majority of the calls. How did you get effed?
Yeah, no, he didn't. I thought that it was fair. There was a little bit missed both ways. The one they're really complaining about was when Caravan drove the baseline and Condon went up and late in the game. It was like a 1-point game. And Condon kind of got a hand on it. They
are blocked
adamant.
They threw it down for the slam.
No,
that one.
Well, that was from a kick. They punched it. That was of it. They punched it out from behind. This is a drive to the basket by Caravan where Condon contests. Florida gets the rebound and they end up going down court. It's not an immediate, but UConn says that was a foul.
I have a hard time understanding how that dude Johnson, when he skied in the first half,
went over the back. Yeah. That was a Florida foul.
And they call it on Rubin.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. But nonetheless, that aside, because, try and teach the 20-year-old who's watching screaming at the refs every play. But it was a great – what happened was Walter Clayton stepped up. Walter Clayton Jr. stepped up and showed everybody why he's a first-team All-American. It was a tremendous plays, and he hit 2 huge threes down the stretch.
And others.
And iced it.
Yeah.
And he was not playing great early.
He had just had that terrible turnover where he tried to whip it across court, and then he just responded. Those are tough shots.
Yes.
Rising, fadeaway, guy in your hand 3.
Florida had gotten down
guy in your face
6 3 times in the second half. One time, Will Richard hit a 3, and then Walter hit a couple, so they were able to come back and keep it close. It did not look good. Like, concession speeches were being formed.
I had a bad feeling,
Because Connecticut came out, and what really frustrated me, because they weren't shooting it well from the outside, but 2 things stood out to me. Connecticut certainly had the game they wanted. They controlled the tempo, right? They purposefully let that clock run down on offense.
And they rebounded well enough. Florida barely out-rebounded them. They killed people on the board.
They won by 5, the rebound game, but
And I tell you what else they did. They turned Florida over. Like, the assist to turnover, it was terribly out of whack. Florida had, I don't have it in front of me, but 16 turnovers versus 6 for UConn or something like that. That'll narrow a game, too.
Also,
and they missed all those free throws.
Yeah, also, so the tempo was stood out. And then the start of the second half, they went inside, and I'm like, man, pack it in and make them shoot from the outside. They were getting uncontested dunks and layups. They got 5 of them. And in a 60 to 70 point game, those 10 points are crucial.
Yeah.
And they didn't miss free throws either, man.
No, they hit them all but 3.
They hit them all. So, but yeah, so for Florida to grab that win is got to be hopefully a huge momentum builder.
It's a tough spot. We talked off air yesterday, and it always dawns on me, over the course of the week, and part of it because, we do our show on Friday, and then this topic doesn't come up. It always comes up on the weekend, and then you don't really review this particular topic, but it's worth setting aside moving forward now that, who knows, Florida could be a 1 seed a lot of years. That 1 seed can also be one of the diciest seeds from this standpoint. In round 2, you're always guaranteed of playing a good team that's relatively hot, that just won a game.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a 2 or a 3, or you can in round 2 get to play a 7, get to play an 11 or a 9, something that is outside.
Yeah, 1 seed gets a little full of himself. They get an easy first game, so they're not really taxed, and they start to believe the hype, and all of a sudden this 8 or 9 comes in there who's battle-tested and bloodied after winning their first game.
Gonzaga and UConn were the 2 that were the most dangerous, and Houston and Florida both held them off.
Or is Duke just really good and they just waxed
Duke is really good, but I think I don't know, man. I just feel like Baylor, all I know is this, and it could be right or wrong, but if I had to rank who I didn't want to play of the 1 seeds, like the choices that you had, Baylor would have been the top 1 who I wanted to play.
Okay.
And then I probably would have gone, I probably would have gone UConn. I mean, they played, I'll give them credit. I think I would have rather played UConn than Creighton.
Yeah.
I would have rather played UConn.
Creighton beat UConn.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
I'd rather play UConn and then play Creighton. And the last one that I would want to face would be Gonzaga.
But UConn had that, and like I said, Danny Hurley easy to dislike, but he's a good coach.
For sure.
And basically he convinced his guys that, look, man, we're the 2-time defending champs. They got to beat us. We don't got to beat them. And he had everything he wanted, but Florida just had a little too much talent. And Walter Clayton Jr. and Will Richard and Elijah Martin early on. Elijah Martin carried him in the first half, 14 of the 31 points. If Elijah Martin, who was the only calm guy out there playing.
That's what they do. That's why they're so good.
By the way, that FAU team has 3 guys in the Sweet 16 on 3 different teams.
Who's the third? Who does he play for?
Michigan. He went with the coach.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Arkansas.
Yeah, I know. Jamel Davis but he's coming on. He's playing better. He's important. Arkansas's playing well.
Yeah.
I tell you what was. We're going to do a little comparison a little bit later. Remind me to give you the Calipari Patino.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you off the top of my head because I find it. This is
Cal dominates them. Which is shocking.
Forget head to head.
Oh.
For just a second.
Okay.
I'm just talking about John Calipari, Rick Pitino. I'm sitting there watching the game the other day with Mrs. P.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's there, not paying much attention, on her phone on the couch. I said, you know who Rick Pitino is? Oh, sure. I know who Rick Pitino is. Oh, okay. I said, you ever heard of John Calipari? No. Huh. And I thought that was curious, and this is why. So then I thought, well, I get it. Pitino's a bigger boy. Until you research, and he's really not. Calipari or Pitino has more career wins. College basketball career wins, Calipari or Pitino?
It's Calipari.
It's Pitino, barely.
Okay.
Who has more tournament wins, Pitino or Calipari? It's Calipari, barely.
Wow.
Pitino is I don't know the number, 8. It's 5 something or 8 something. What, 885 to 858?
Okay.
And then the tourney wins are 58 to 55. They're really remarkably similar for one to be so well known, I think.
Bad weekend for the Patinos, both lost.
Yeah.
Rick went to his son's game, too. He was at his son's game watching last night when Sparty took him down.
Hey, man, Rick rightfully faced the toughest, what the hell are you doing question of the week, and he set the Big East player of the year for the last 5 minutes of the game, and they got outscored by 7 during that time. So, yeah, he's 3 for 18, Rick. I get it. We all know what field goal percentage is. But what's his plus minus? What is the team when he's on the floor?
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily even the shooting. It might have been the defense. It might have been I don't know what's going on.
Either way, you're the Big East player of the year. We're down to the wire. It's an odd time to send a message.
Yeah, yeah. Our Dream Finders Homes poll question of the day, speaking of the Gators, and I had to ask it, and I was just curious to take the temperature of the Dream Finders, of course, the official home builder of the Gators, Jags, and the PGA Tour. And by the way, lock in right now, 4.99% fixed interest rate. Pretty good chance. And they're in 15 different locations in Jacksonville.
15?
That's right. You heard me right. And select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information. Who's the best Gator basketball player in school history? Vernon, Walter Clayton Jr., Neil Walk, or others? Vernon, Walter Clayton Jr., Neil Walk, or others?
I got to go others.
Yeah, you could. Others doesn't usually win, but
I'm going to go other. You can make arguments for a lot of guys there, but Noah and Horford in particular, for me.
That's yours?
Well, no. I mean, others, I get so much there. I know that I have to name one guy better than those three.
Statistically, Horford is nowhere near the best player.
I'm
just saying.
I think basketball, more than any other sport, it kind of includes your professional destiny.
Yeah.
I think there's a clear number one here. There's a clear choice.
Vern?
No, Walter Clayton Jr.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
You know, Neil Walk, just so you guys, and you know this, but just so you know, Neil Walk, the second pick in the draft behind Lou Alcindor.
Yeah, I had to go do some research.
Averaged 26.5 points at Florida and 19.8 rebounds his junior year and 24 points and 18 rebounds his senior year.
Yeah, but was he first team All-American?
He was not, because there's only been one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they also didn't win anything. I know it's tough, but they never went to a tournament. But
only how many teams went back then?
I know.
Walter Clayton can solve this problem in 4 games.
If he wins it, I would say he would be.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, look, I mean, it depends on how you're defining it, I guess.
I don't know. That's for you to. That's for the voter to decide.
Yeah.
We have almost 500 votes, and Walter Clayton Jr. is ahead of others, 42.1 to 38. Vernon Maxwell, 16.1. Neil Walk, you fans got to do some research, 3.8%.
I think the one thing about I can't if this team wins it all, then it's Clay. If this team doesn't win it all, it's got to be one of those fellas that won back-to-back. You pick one. And it's not their fault that there's 3 more of them.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, the truth is this. Any of these guys you got listed, if you take them off that team, they're not winning it all. You take, as good as the 04s were, take any one of the 3 off, they're not winning it all.
Right.
Right? And Walter Clayton, this team's going home today. They're done.
Yeah.
He's not here. So, it's... I guess it's fair. It's hard for me to just this. If this question had been posed a month ago, he'd have finished last.
Oh yeah,
that's what's. So I can't get over that part of it before I go put him first.
That's fair.
Well, I don't know if he would have finished last, but
I think he would have a month ago. Maybe not. Apparently Neil Walk's never been heard of. So.
He hit some big shots.
He did
all season long.
Sure, he did.
Like whenever Florida needed a shot,
where we were. Do it in the first half of that Tennessee game. Let me know where they put Walter Clayton Jr.
Yeah. Remind me, whenever Joe Kim and Al Horford, when they were playing, were they being compared to as the best big man in the nation?
Noah was.
Noah was the defensive player.
Horford was just solid, quiet, but Horford went first in the draft of all those guys.
Yeah.
He went number 3.
And the reason why I asked that
number 3 to Atlanta, he was drafted ahead of Noah, had drafted ahead of Brewer. All 3 of them went in the top 12. But
the reason why I asked that is because that's how Walter Clayton is being viewed. He's first team. He's right next to Cooper Flagg and
I'm surprised that Joakim Noah year 2 wasn't first team All-American. That surprises me.
I do remember him.
The repeat year that one of those guys wasn't given first team All-American.
The numbers weren't. Yeah, it wasn't like Janai Broom.
I get it.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's
what do you think Joakim Noah averaged in college? His
11,
last year?
11,
maybe a 12 and 10 guy.
Yeah. That's what I think, too. So I'm going to check just because I'm curious, like whiskers. Joakim Noah averaged 12 points, 14.2, then 12, and only 7 and 8.4 rebounds. So
he's also got he's got Horford over there grabbing 7 and 8 rebounds.
Sure.
So, but that's key of a lot of guys that are chasing stats anyway.
Yeah.
It was a very well-rounded team. Here's the story about this is why, and by the way, it won 2 championships. That ability to set aside any individual recognition.
For sure.
Because listen to this, E. This is the starting lineup for Florida the year they went 35-3 and won the second of 2 straight. Lee Humphrey averaged 10.3. Joakim Noah averaged 12. Corey Brewer averaged 13.2. Al Horford averaged 13.2. Torian Green, the leading scorer. You win some money in that bet, 13.3.
Wow.
10.3 to 13.3, all 5. And by the way, it was Horford. Horford was statistically. Horford 13.2, 9.5 rebounds.
Yeah.
Noah 12.0, 8.4.
team was so balanced.
Yeah,
but then
balanced.
and then Chris Richard gave you 6 off the bench. Walter Hodge gave you 6 off the bench.
Yep.
Murray Spates gave you 4 off the bench.
Yep.
Doesn't sound like anything, but there's another 18 to 20 points.
Yeah,
really good team.
All right, let's do this. Let's grab a break. We'll rock and roll through a Monday. Lots to talk about as well. All kinds of other sports items happening on and off the court that we'll get to throughout the morning.
By the way, highest ranked recruit of that team on that roster.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Brewer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Parade All-American, wasn't he?
25th.
Was he a Parade All-American or no? Corey Brewer.
Yeah, McDonald's, you mean? I think it was a McDonald's All-American, but he was the 25th overall prospect. Horford, 47.
Yeah.
Chris Richard, 43. Noah, 72.
Horford, by the way, or Noah was invisible his freshman year.
Yeah, and then at the very end of his freshman or the end of one of them, he had like a 40-point game at Georgia. You remember that?
Wow.
I feel like Noah didn't play at all his freshman year. And you're like, who is this guy? And they put him in and he scores 40 in Athens or something along those lines. And I don't know if that was his very first year or if that was year 2. But I do remember his coming out party being against, let's see. Yeah, it must not have been. I mean, he averaged, 2 points that year? So, or 3.5. It must have been that second year that he had the huge game.
I will take a break. Keep it rolling right here on The Drill.
Every day in Duval reminds us why we live here.
You rise up onto bridges over the St. Johns River far below, and Jacksonville shines from a number of angles, like a jewel being turned in your hand.
1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
We've all been waiting for it, and now March is finally here. Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet. The only way to make the most of March is to feed the frenzy. Check out all the lines, the tournament's opening rounds, and don't miss out. Who's getting upset? Who's going all the way? Play right along with them at Hard Rock Bet or download the app. Super easy to play and win on the Hard Rock Bet app. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Beards Diamonds is where Jacksonville shops for engagement rings and fine diamond jewelry. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center. Boy, they stand out in a big way. Why? Because, number one, and most importantly, they're local. Man, the owners, the Lupos, are part of our community, right? Shout out to John and his son, Ben. Been around for more than 40 years, man. Money spent at Beards doesn't go to Wall Street, stays right here, and they don't compromise, and you don't compromise on anything. Best selection of diamonds in Northeast Florida, hands down. They don't have to jack up prices to meet a corporate bottom line. They got all the top names and bridal jewelry like Decoria and Veragio. Beards guarantees to give you a better price and better value, period. You heard me, they guarantee. Listen, a lot of those chain jewelry stores are all owned by the same mega conglomerate. Different store names, but they're all the same owner. Beards locally owned. Better alternative. Beholden to the people of Jacksonville. Us, not Wall Street. Beards Diamonds. Go see our friends the Lupos at the St. John's Town Center.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
The Drill.
From the DivorcemenOnly.com studios.
Guys, your lawn's the home field. Now you can champion your St. Augustine grass. TopDressing.com just hit Jacksonville with a game-changing patented process. Aerate and transform your turf into a fairway-worthy masterpiece. Less water, shorter cuts, and the envy of every neighbor. No one else delivers a perfect 10 lawn like this. Visit TopDressing.com and dominate your block with the same process that golf courses use. Top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's Terminix.com. That's right, Terminix it.
Jags fans, here's your chance to score a trip to Green Bay for round one of draft night.
through the Everbank Draft Night Experience Sweepstakes. One lucky winner and a guest will be there live and in person to see the Jaguars make their first pick. To enter, visit everbank.com/draft by April 4th. That's everbank.com/draft. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 3/3/25 to 4/4/25. For official rules, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/draft. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A.
Struggling with ED? Now Riddle Wellness has a solution that works. You've heard of PRP treatments for joint pain relief. That same technology is now available with the P-Shot, a non-surgical treatment for ED. Using your body's natural power, the P-Shot helps restore function naturally. No pills, no downtime, just results. Schedule a free consultation at elevatejacksonville.com and learn what the P-Shot can do for you. Riddle Wellness, your health, your confidence totally restored. Visit elevatejacksonville.com.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Walls. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of classic rock with legendary vocalist Jeff Tate. Known for his iconic work with Queensryche, Jeff Tate brings his unforgettable sound to the Florida Theater for one night only.
Round-trip journey in your head.
Witness the hit album Operation Mindcrime, performed in its entirety for the final time. Jeff Tate, Operation Mindcrime, April 3rd at Florida Theater. Tickets at floridatheater.com.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Need a fast casual option that's healthy, fresh, and delicious? Choose the Great Greek Mediterranean Grill. Gyros, salads, hummus, and more made completely fresh right as you order. Off 210 and St. John's Parkway. The Great Greek Mediterranean Grill.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by
Advanced Business Solutions.
your local authorized Xerox dealer on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Yeah. Man, of all the pro sports we watch, Hick.
Yes, sir.
The one that you just got to be built different just to kind of let it go or keep plodding, or maybe it's the same in all, but it just seems you're way more under the microscope or out there on an island. You're a cornerback every single shot of the weekend when you're a golfer.
Yes.
Everyone sees it.
Yes.
I mean, and they just merciless about this decision or this execution.
Mm-hmm.
But even bigger than that, I mean, Victor Hovland couldn't get out of his own way. I picked Victor Hovland a month ago. Y'all laughed at me.
Yeah.
You laughed at me for taking Victor Hovland.
Yeah.
And it was with good reason. I believe that was at the Century when I picked him, and he missed the cut.
All right.
And then he went to Bay Hill, and he missed the cut.
Yeah.
Then he came to the Players, and last Thursday he shot 80.
Ooh.
He missed the cut. And now you tell me, because this is the first weekend in forever I didn't watch more than 1 minute of PGA Tour golf.
Yeah, as it works, I had both on.
So how did Victor Hovland, that's what we're talking about, how did Victor Hovland win on a difficult golf course?
First off, Valspar got a great tournament because they had JT and Hovland dueling. All right?
It's a good, hard golf course.
Now, JT shoots a Sunday 66. All right. But he picked an inopportune time, and I thought it was strategic. I don't know enough about golf. He's hitting his drive a little left. He comes to 16. This is called the snake pit, which means it's a little bit difficult. 16, 17, 18 finish in Tampa.
It's the Copperhead course after all.
16, he pulls his drive. He hits driver. And I'm thinking, why are you hitting driver? He smokes the driver left into the pine straw. Can only really, knowing he has, now he has a 3-shot lead.
Okay. Wow. On 16?
Yeah, I believe so.
So just the story will go on, but the short story
I
is
believe
here.
so.
As Justin Thomas choked away a golf tournament yesterday. Anyway.
I don't know. So he just punches out, knowing that he's got maybe it's 2 shots. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, okay.
But he still punches out. He's still in good shape. He hits it. Then he hits a terrible 145-yard approach into the bunker. He does get up and down, but it's a bogey. Okay. So he loses a stroke.
Yeah, he was only up, unless Hovland was making a birdie at the same time. I did see a highlight where he had a 1-shot lead after 16.
Right.
So maybe his lead was 2.
Okay, so
and Hovland
he's
meanwhile
bogeyed
playing
16. Well. Hovland comes to 16, hits iron. He's about 180 yards, sticks it beautifully close, makes the birdie putt.
So 2-shot swing.
Par 3, 222-yard shot. JT hits it beautiful, spins the club, got himself a birdie putt. It just rolls over the hole and doesn't go in.
Okay.
Taps in, takes his par. Hovland comes back. It's an even better shot. Rolls in the birdie putt.
All right, that's not a joke.
Okay.
That's just winning.
Well, they go to 18.
Oh, well, okay.
They're not together, by the way.
Back. Yeah, he's one hole ahead of him.
JT, in fact, on 18, you go around a corner, and on 18T, JT's waiting because he wants the guys on 17 to hit their approaches. So all they say on 18 is you got to hit the fairway, and it's a pretty. It seems like it's.
Is this one he hit down to the left and over the hill? I did see that.
He hits it in the rough.
Yeah.
So he's not in the fairway. Then he has to swing almighty. It's a deep rough. Hits it into the bunker. So now he's in the bunker. So now he's got very little landing space with his
short-sided.
Yeah. He goes for it. It lands in the deep rough and just rolls out. It was a foot away from being a great shot.
Okay.
But it wasn't great. Misses the putt. Bogey's 18. Hovland hits 3-wood, blows his to the right. No. Hovland now has the lead. He went birdie.
Okay. Hovland's up.
So it must have been a 3-shot lead.
Okay.
It was a 3-shot lead, bro.
Okay.
Because he's gone from.
I know he had a 3-shot lead at one point earlier. I just don't know if he had the 3-shot lead on 16. That's my question. Because I did check the score when they were. Again, I'm watching all basketball, but I checked the score when they watched the.
But because he bogeyed 18, Hovland only needs. He has a 2-shot lead. Hovland now has a 2-shot lead after his birdie on 17, Jeff. He hits his 3-wood right, and then his approach was not great. He had a good lie, but he hit a poor approach off the green, had a chip up, missed the putt, tapped in, took a bogey.
So he could bogey and still win.
Yeah. And he won.
But the big, I mean.
But if JT had bogeyed 2 and 3 of us in a 66, nobody says anything.
I got you.
But because he bogeyed 16, 18, it stood out.
And it sounds like there's some shots there that he
was
would
close.
normally execute.
He played pretty well.
And to me, just the bigger story is that Hovland was lost. That would be when he left here last week. I think the general consensus on Victor Hovland is he's lost right now.
Yeah,
he missed 3 straight cuts, not even close.
He found it, though,
right? That's the thing about golf.
Who said this?
Okay,
Johnny Carson. Okay, who said this?
Yes, sir.
Is this? I'll give you multiple choice after I read it. Okay.
All right.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. Bum, bum, bum,
and life is better with you by my side.
Love is in the air. And
we look forward to our journey through life together.
Okay.
At this time, we'd appreciate privacy for all those close to our hearts. Okay, here are your choices.
I already know.
A, E. B, Tiger Woods.
Uh-huh.
C, all the above.
Oh, dang.
I know he's in love. So. He's too easy. I don't know if he would. I don't know if he'd be quoted on it. I don't know if he'd want to be quoted.
Who said that?
Tiger Woods, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Tiger said that about his.
Love is in the air.
He said that's weird.
And life is better with you by my side. Oh. We look forward to our journey through life together.
Yeah, you're gonna be dead soon.
I've got a couple pics of Mrs. T and Tiger laying on the hammock, hugging, snuggling.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
2 kids finding love
Two
together.
Crazy kids, man.
Both so innocent in their histories.
So innocent.
And neither have been and seen things that human condition is meant to see and hear. Nah, this should end well.
Love is in the air.
He is married. The story here, the hook here, gang. If you haven't heard or seen, is that he's with Donald Trump Jr.'s
ex-wife.
Yeah. Is she the one? That's not the one that's on TV, is it?
No. Her daughter, Kai.
Oh, it's the YouTube golfer. Or I've seen her golf on YouTube.
Played in a tournament, I think.
She's a pretty good player.
Yeah, but played in a tournament with Charlie and Miles Russell.
Oh.
Who won.
Okay.
Charlie was about 20 strokes back.
Uh-huh.
And then one of the golf writers went full out brawny on him and started talking about Charlie when the story's Miles Russell.
Fair.
We don't do
Miles Russell now, though, seems like an old man. He doesn't seem like a cute, charming little story anymore. It feels like he's 30.
He's not.
Poor kid started,
He's like 17 or 18.
Right. But now that, you're not 12 anymore?
Yeah.
How impressive are you, really?
Yeah. Well,
it's going to be interesting for him to maintain now, too, because he's not a big man.
No, well,
or young man. Is he getting bigger?
Got a little taller.
Okay.
But he's light. But he can hit a
the
golf
number one amateur for, I think, back-to-back years, Miles Russell was in the world.
Over the weekend, I saw a clip on Instagram, and I immediately thought of Jeff. It was when the YouTube golfers were here, when Gabby golfed. She did her little YouTube thing
up on the green?
Up on TPC. It was like,
nice.
Would you pay $1,000 to golf here?
Could you hear me yelling at her in the background?
I'm going to say it's a good thing the Gator basketball team won their game yesterday because the Gator baseball team is reeling.
Did they get swept by Georgia?
They're 0-6 to start the SEC.
Wow.
They got swept by Tennessee and swept by Georgia.
Hey.
They didn't just get swept by Georgia. They got mollywopped.
Okay.
They lost yesterday.
Mollywopping happened, E.
They lost yesterday 15-4, and that was a better effort than the 17-2 game they lost Saturday.
Ouchie.
They'll be here tomorrow night to take on the Knowles.
Well, good luck with that one, boys.
And their pitching is in disarray right now.
Didn't they just beat FSU a week ago?
2 weeks ago.
All right, 2 weeks ago.
So
cling to that memory, boys.
Now the only caveat is Georgia and Tennessee are 1-4 respectively in the nation, but Florida should not be getting swept.
No, not 0-6.
0-6 is a bad start.
Man, I tell you what, just one quick baseball note, we'll go to break. I don't, and I'm sure everybody
the Jesse Chavez, no, congratulations. I'm bringing him back.
I can't believe that he's back anyway. No bueno, as I said. And I know every organization, if you're a deep fan of your team, you there's probably other correlations that string together that other fans don't notice.
Okay.
But let me just tell you this is an odd Braves kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Man, is there a franchise that's had more flame in and flame out stars as young pitchers than Atlanta's young starters? I mean, I'll take you back. Medlin, Hansen, Tehran, Beachy, Soroka, now add Newcomb. I mean, they just have so many that will show you for a hot minute that they look like they're going to be an all-star and a guy that you're going to put in your rotation for a few years, and they just have not panned out. And kind of the last of that lineage is now gone with Ian Anderson dealt yesterday. I said before, man, my favorite sports memory, it won't be surpassed, I doubt, was going to that World Series game that I went to with my family. And Ian Anderson threw 5 no-hit innings at that game.
I guess the only hope for me is that Schwellenbach joins him this year.
Yeah, that's fair. Right. Correct. But there's been now maybe Strider.
I would say the Dodgers have a lot of those guys too.
That look like they're about
maybe
to be
if you're
dominant.
looking for they've had a lot of phenom kids coming.
A lot of the guys I just mentioned were all-stars for 1 year. I had unbelievable, almost everybody that I mentioned, you believe it or not.
Yeah.
Shoot, throw Elder in there. He looked like he was about to be.
He made an all-star team.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. They've had a lot that they'll make an all-star team and then they just don't have the staying power. But
all right, well, we're just warming up. 641-1010. Come kind, come courteous, come correct. Razzle dazzle this week?
Oh, yeah. I got Haymaker Coffee. A Haymaker Haymaker Coffee gift pack, including Haymaker Coffee and Haymaker swag. Pick up Haymaker Coffee at Hagen Ace Hardware, stores at Riverside Arts Market, or online at haymakercoffee.com. But one lucky caller could win some Haymaker Coffee right now. All you got to do is hit me up right now, 904-641-1010.
Haymaker.
In your car or out of your car.
Get me out of this car.
Take 1010XL with you wherever you go.
We're online and ready.
By downloading our free 1010XL app. Available for all smartphones and tablets.
Here's Linda Beaver.
It's a new year with new goals, but let's face it, not all resolutions are easy to keep. Maybe you promised yourself you'd eat healthier, but pizza still seems like a better idea. Or you said you'd read more, but your favorite show just launched a new season. At Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet, we can help you keep your New Year's resolution. We offer the biggest selection, best prices, and the easiest car buying experience. Let's make a resolution to visit Beaver Toyota or Beaver Chevrolet, where we'll wow you with a new ride for the new year.
Hey, it's one of life's most important decisions. If you're 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, you have children, you want to take care of your family, of course you do. That's why I'm here to tell you about Matt Hinson and the Hinson Law Firm. Matt's the attorney, I'm not. But we both want to know, have you done your last will? Listen, you got to get the assets to the people that you choose. You work hard. You should be able to make those decisions. Planning also helps minimize income, gift, and estate taxes. And Matt Hinson's your guy. He's going to listen. He's going to help you with the decisions. He's going to provide you all the information needed so you can make smart choices. The Hinson Law Firm. If you have questions, reach out to Matt. He's got the answers. 527-1700. That's 904-527-1700. The offices are in Jacksonville, Florida. Gang, don't let the state decide your fate.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beatrice here, second-generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beatrice Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do, and plumbing is what we're great at. Beatrice Plumbing, here to help.
It's Blue, and I couldn't see everyone else here at the station lose weight while I'm on the sidelines wishing mine away. I jumped on Awaken 182, and I mean weight loss every week, eating to lose weight, and then receive full support for life. What's not to like? Now, I didn't drop the double digits like Hacker did in week 1, but I'm down 4 pounds. I'll take that any day. The best part, Awaken 180 was actually easier than I expected. I'm not sure what I thought beforehand, but after just day 1, I was already in a groove. Wasn't hungry, more energy, and my coach Patrick is awesome. Gave me a couple of tips since I do sleep in and, of course, stay up late. And I'm off. I'm cruising through week 2 and loving it. You've heard all about Choose Awaken 180, all of us having success with Awaken 180. What do you have to lose? Only weight. Everything else to gain with the solution for weight loss. Reserve your March consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
If you're heading to the Og or you're already part of the nation's oldest, don't forget to drop into Sunset Grill. For over 30 years, serving up great chowder, seafood, wings, and cold beer. Sunset Grill, somewhere on A1A, St. Augustine Beach.
1010XL is the home of Gator Nation and the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. I'm Hacker, and we keep you connected with the University of Florida all year long. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 15% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Dailies Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Dailies is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit cssoutdoor.com.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Welcome back. 746. Good morning, Jacksonville. Gators advance to the Sweet 16. They go 7:39. I believe Thursday night. Is that correct?
I think it's Thursday night.
Yeah.
It's going down.
Against the Terps. They're going down?
No, it's going down.
Okay. They got to go out to San Francisco. I think if you're a kid, you love that, man.
What's that?
Traveling.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's fun. I don't think they mind that one bit. I hate it for the fans.
Yeah.
Gator basketball fans, I don't think there'll be 10,000 Gator basketball fans flooding out to San Francisco.
Nah.
Okay. So I hate that part of it. But for the team, pretty cool. Like, you like that. You look forward to it.
Absolutely, especially for the kids, because, there's kids that's been on that team or that are on that team that ain't never really been nowhere like that.
Yeah.
So basketball provides them an opportunity to see things that they haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
I think your point with the fans is a fair one. Like, I know someone who decided spur of the moment to get up Sunday, take the 6 a.m. flight up to Raleigh. You can get up there and back in the same day.
Correct.
If Florida and Texas Tech met in the regional final, and it was in New Orleans or even Dallas, we'd meet our friends. It's just and to this point.
But it's in San Francisco.
I literally flashed in my head, okay, they play Thursday night, which means they'll play Thursday, Saturday, can leave after the show on Friday, zip out to San Francisco, you can say Friday night, Saturday night, leave Sunday, be home plenty of time.
Right.
It'd be a perfect setup, like you said, if it weren't in San Francisco. It's just too far to go.
That's a long way.
Too far to go.
So, but looking forward to it. And, man, I can't. It's, and listen, I'll say this too, man. It looks like, we hammer Scott Strickland for a lot of stuff, and rightfully so. Looks like he hit a home run with this coach.
He hired him on a Zoom call. Never met him in person, so he got lucky.
I don't care.
He got lucky.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I
don't either. Yeah, I'll take him
And I'll tell you
too.
something else. I'll tell you this. I never thought Florida basketball could be elite again consistently. And
the consistency part's got to show up.
I'm not saying it's there yet.
But it looks like early Billy.
Yes.
That's what it feels like.
And I'm also, because I'm reading about next year's group and the guards and the bigs who want to come to, or who Florida is considering Florida, and it's a good group.
Right. Well, that's what happens when you win.
Yeah.
And he's infectious, got infectious. The guys like him. You can tell he's young and he's, engaged.
So I give him credit.
So, for 100%.
Culture question.
100%. Take the L on the whole Mike White deal.
Yeah.
It was, there was an incredible amount of untapped potential there still to be taken. And my old school Gator just felt like Florida basketball had a ceiling outside of Billy Donovan that Golden is going to try and prove wrong.
What does this mean?
All right.
And I quote, I got my little passenger princess, and that bee looking good.
Oh,
that's how you do it. You
That's
go
a
pick
tiger
up
talking about Trump?
You go you go
okay.
pick up the lamb chop with a princess.
Is the lamb chop the Lambo? What are we doing?
No. So let's break this down.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what it is, E?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
All right, go ahead, E.
So what's the first part?
I got my little passenger princess, and that bee looking good.
His girlfriend, the person who's in the passenger.
Okay.
She's with me, and she's looking really good.
These translates like airplane. Lay them down and smack them, yak them.
That's how you do it. You go pick up the lamb chop with a princess.
That's how you go do it. You go pick up the lamb chop. Could be broken down as like the money, the package, whatever. You go pick up the
Actually. Culture Jeff got it right.
What's that? You go pick up the lamb chop?
What's the lamb chop?
The
Jeff?
Lambo.
The Lambo. Wait, what's that? You go pick up the Lambo?
What about me winning one over the culture? That's a huge upset.
Well,
That's a 16-1.
In fairness, he
A
said
package,
the package.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
But in this case, it just happened.
In this case, it was correct. The Lambo.
They're calling the Lambo the lamb chop.
Yes.
Fair.
Now,
Okay.
this is
All right.
Jamar Chase.
That was a
and
guess for me, by the
Jamar
way.
Hayes and T. Higgins were racing their Lambos around Miami all weekend.
Sure.
by the way.
For real, dude? Are they really? For like just, I mean, come on, guys. E, man, what is going on, bro?
You give them young boys some money, they gonna act.
Who, how many Rasheed Rice, Henry Rice? How many, E?
Be careful. Be careful.
How many, bro?
Now,
By the way, did you see our the speeding ticket girl got arrested again?
Yes.
Again?
Yes.
Oh,
now it's for
man.
like Lloyd. She's like a ne'er-do-well.
She's a degenerate.
Yeah.
But she gave us another pretty smile.
Did she?
She sure did.
Yeah. But this time it's like loitering, disturbing the peace, like resisting arrest, like all
And the problem with that though, she gave another pretty smile. Like she's going to get some money from.
She may have done it on purpose. She
I
may
think
have-
she did.
Exactly.
Like every 2 weeks, times are tough. I'm gonna go get arrested.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I think
smile
she
pretty in my
did.
mugshot.
Parents must be proud, sending her to Athens and all for that.
You want to feel old for a second?
It doesn't take much. so-
Over the weekend, this former Jag turned 40.
Former Jag turned 40. All right, so that means if I'm gonna have to feel old, then it's got to be somebody like
I feel like he's one of the most underrated in some respects Jaguar of all time.
Daryl Smith.
No, so
He's probably older
you
than
might
that.
tell me he's not underrated.
Okay. Just is it like Meester? He's past 40, isn't he? These guys are. I don't know, man. 40 means you were what? 40. That means you were born in 84, which means you came here in like 05 or 06.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, then is it one of the 05, 06?
E, any thought?
I know who it is.
You do? You
Gerard? No, he's
Gerard?
before that.
Gerard's a good guess.
Yeah, he's probably
Mojo.
older. Mojo's 40. Ooh.
Is he underrated? Mojo was unbelievable.
No, I don't
man.
know. He's first team All Pro. They named him when he was
1
here.
year. Yeah.
But 1 year was the only year he was first team All Pro.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, he had 3 really
Yeah, he did for
big
sure.
time.
He should.
years.
I'll say this to your point, and I know you just can't put everybody up there at any whim, but he needs to be on the wall.
For sure.
I think he is among those.
That's
Jaguars.
why he's underrated.
Yeah,
Like, why is he
okay.
not on the wall?
All right.
All right,
well,
so
is
2009.
Keenan on the wall? He's not yet, is he?
No.
Are those the only two really? And we're good. Can't we shut that thing down for a while?
Yes.
Get those two. That's it. Ain't nobody else even close.
No.
Well,
Rasheen.
I mean,
Yeah,
Rasheen.
yeah.
Would y'all Calais
Rasheen.
hasn't been here long enough?
Yeah, he wasn't here long enough.
Okay.
He's a great player, but Calais can't go on. That team was, you know what? It's about time we stopped petting on the 2017 team.
It wasn't Calais'
Yeah,
fault.
I know that, but I'm just tired
tried.
of giving anybody anything from
tried.
that group of malcontents.
I want to go back to Mojo.
They had a
because
big 1 year run. That was
Mojo
fantastic.
gave us, memorable highlights
and
that
he
stick
kept
in
them.
our
You
head.
could argue he kept them in that
And
kind of playoff hunt.
We had not much without him.
Yeah,
And
well,
he-
Fred for the first couple, but after
Yeah.
Fred was gone, yeah.
His rookie year, he averaged 5.7 a carry, went 166 for 941 with 13 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he was splitting time with Freddie.
Yeah, what a tandem.
Yeah.
That was a good team. They gave New England in their undefeated year all they wanted.
Yeah. And then the following year, he went 167, 768, 197, 824. And then he's 24 years old. They gave him at 312, 299, and 343 the next 3 years. He went 1391, 1324, and 1606. Led the NFL in rushing, averaging 100 yards a game in 2011. And then that was it. He fell off the cliff, 86, and then he went 234 for 800. But the highlight-wise, I mean, he gave us a lot of highlights. Obviously.
Who, Mojo?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I mean,
I remember the one
so
where
many runs.
The one that I remember.
And yet he's still remembered for the block as much as the runs.
Oh, Merriman, he lit him up.
Yeah.
the Mojo, and it wasn't his most explosive, but it's just that little engine that could quality that he had. But it was the one where he went up the middle and he like rolled off of the offensive line and they thought he was down. And he wasn't.
That was against
and
New
he
England.
took off and got like a long touchdown of it.
Yeah, New England, I think.
You know what? He is underrated. You remember how good of a kick returner he was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man, he's underrated.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought he was very underrated. In fact, his rookie year, when he had 941 rushing yards, he had 1,377 scrimmage yards. So, pretty good stuff. And you know, obviously we didn't have a whole lot back then. But you're right. That one team we had that went to the playoffs.
They won a couple of years.
Yeah.
But he wasn't here for
05 and 07.
He wasn't here in 05, right?
No.
Yeah.
The 07 team was a good team.
That was a good
was that
team.
The Denny Northcutt playoff game?
That was it. We played them even. That's again. We have so many stats like this, but I think Brady went like 26-28 or something.
Oh yeah, remember that?
He just carved us up. But the Jags were in the game at a half. They were going in at halftime, and Denny Northcutt dropped what would have been a touchdown. I think the Jags would have taken a lead at the half. I think that was the situation. Are you looking at the box score of that game?
I'm trying to find. I think it was 31-20 final.
But I think that like at the half,
14 all at the half.
Yeah, and
we took the lead. We went 9 plays, 80 yards. They went then they responded. Then they took the lead. Then
was it maybe early third? Then that Northcutt missed it somewhere where we settled for a field goal. I would assume, but
yes, yeah, we took a field goal. Right, it was like they score, we score, they score, we score, they score, then we get a field goal.
Yeah, and that
guess
would
what
have been
they
a
did
touchdown.
after that? They
touchdown, yeah, or touchdown,
yeah,
touchdown over.
Yeah,
no, the close. So we made it 24-20 when it could have been 24 all. Is that what happened?
21-14, 21-17, 28-17.
Yeah.
28-20, another field goal. We had a 13-play, 71-yard drive, and we kicked a field goal to make it 28-20. Then they went and did a 6-play, 63-yard drive, kicked a field goal. Then we got a touchdown with a minute to go to make it 31-20.
Well, fellas, I got a quick one for you.
Yeah.
This right off the text line for my guy, Scotty, Jeff. Mojo has the best highlight reel than any Jaguar.
No.
That's what I said.
No.
It's only between two people.
Yeah, Fred
Taylor is into the
Jimmy's
chat.
ain't bad, by the way.
Jimmy's is pretty good.
So, but Mojo does have a great. That's not to take away from Mojo, but Fred was the man.
Yes, I agree.
So, I mean,
Fred has plays you've forgotten about. He has so many.
Right.
I think. Don't you think? From 50-yard touchdowns, Fred probably had twice as many as Mojo.
Oh, that's a great question.
Now, I wonder, 50-yard touchdowns or longer in the pass and run game.
I'll read Mojo's long each year: 74, 57, 46, 80, 37, 56, 59, 48.
So he went over 50 6 out of 9.
Four times he went over. No, 5 times.
Yeah, because
1,
was 7.
2, 3, 4, 5 times.
And in 8 years or 9 years?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Yeah, so 5 out of 9. What have I got for Fred?
Well, let me look.
I would think in Jacksonville, Fred went over 50 every single year he played at least 6 games.
For sure.
I mean, he had or at least a 50-yard
Multiple
play.
times.
Yeah, they're not even. And by the way, those are longest plays, period, not just touchdown plays.
Yeah, 77, 52, 71, 63, 62, 71, 76, 80.
I mean, bro, we're in a whole different stratosphere.
Yeah.
Those are all 80s and 70s, every single one of them. The lowest you gave me was 59.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all right.
We'll have Fred tomorrow. We'll ask him about Mojo.
All right, good.
That'll be fun.
Listen, we're getting to that time of year where, E, are you involved with the Sharks again this year?
I am.
You are? You doing the game day host, all that good stuff, and MC?
Doing all that running around.
All right,
yes,
good.
Sir.
And so you got your home opener coming up in a couple of weeks. And look, it was a struggle last year for Jason Gibson and the Sharks. I saw they got a win on Friday, so good for them. He'll join us on the phone Mondays throughout the year, but we'll talk to him a little bit later today about their season opening win. All quiet on the Jaguars front. Hick, I kind of was left with this as I was pondering on the drive in today, that I feel like in like the court of public opinion, now that everything's died down and we're restocking, that the Jags just get a big fat C- from everybody out there on what they did this offseason so far.
Yeah,
I don't feel anybody
sure.
is in any way at all excited about what they've done. They have not improved themselves in any of like the that doesn't make all those people right. I'm
No.
sure Tony would be screaming at, what are they? I get all that. but they're showing up 26 to 32
Well,
in the power rankings.
Is the one that
the depth chart at receiver right now is enough. You could stir up some fan anger in the new group for what they are now sitting with on the depth chart, because I know everyone always smarter than everyone else, Dan, but we've also been doing this a long time, and Parker Washington and De'Ami Brown aren't good enough, okay?
No.
They're just not, and you've gotten rid of Christian Kirk.
By the way,
there's no one else on the roster at receiver that looks like I want to count on, and so I hope your plan is right. Your plan to get the receiving core better can't be a third-round receiver. That's not going to be enough.
Well, I'm not sure Brenton Strange is right either. There's a lot of questions. We'll talk about that and more coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. This is The Drill on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Spirited sports talk.
He never wavered in his belief.
Spirited sports conversation.
If you're going to act like a loser, raise your hand.
1010XL. Adding a little spirit to the conversation.
Be aggressive. Come on, guys. Go team.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Garber Auto Mall is home of the lifetime warranty. Every new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevy, Buick, GMC, and Ford comes with a lifetime warranty. At Garber Auto Mall, your purchase is covered for life. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Look. Hey, when it comes to insurance, I think we all think a lot the same way. We pay that lot of money monthly. You start adding up in your head. So if something happens and we need you, you need to be there. That's Craig and Chris Kaprosky, right from Goosehead Insurance. Man, when I say take care of, I mean it. You know, something happens, you call the Kaproskys, guess what? They answer, they get you the information that day, and they call you right back. Something called customer service. Sometimes that gets lost in this day and age, but not with the Kaproskys. So whether it's homeowners, auto, flood, boat, small business, Kaprosky's will be there for you at your time of need. I speak from personal experience. I've dealt with Craig and Chris numerous times. They're terrific. Get an insurance checkup today. They're easy to get a hold of. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com. That's Craig.Kaprosky, K-O-P-R-O-S-K-I, at goosehead.com, or call 478-8422, 478-8422. They're Craig and Chris Kaprosky, part of the Goosehead Insurance family, part of our family as well.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Hicken here. Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get one room Zero Resified starting at $53. Take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com and tell them 1010XL sent you.
Zero Res.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com
so you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reese Plumbing,
where quality and experience count. The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Join UF Health Jacksonville for their inaugural golf classic on Friday, April 25th at Amelia River Club. Sponsorships and foursomes are available. Visit ufhealthjacks.org/golf for details. See you on the course.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. You look worried.
Worried? I'm apoplectic!
You're what now?
I'm freaking out, Jason. Stupid water heater crapped out, so I haven't showered since Thursday. I start smelling a little funky, blow my big corporate job interview tomorrow. I'll end up settling for some dead-end career selling spatulas on the internet.
Dude, stay cool.
There's nothing cool about a cold shower, Jason. I mean, I know how that sounds, but
Bueller Air and Plumbing can get a new water heater installed today. The day you call. You could be smelling fresh again by dinner time.
Wait, you can do that?
Put on these sunglasses. Whoa. Is that cooler?
Oh, yeah.
Well, life moves pretty fast. If you spend much more time smelling like this, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
What could you do with an extra $75,000 right now, or even a couple $100,000? If you own a home, you can get that money in less than a week with Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Loan Pronto is the leader in quickly converting your home equity into cold, hard cash. So you can pay off all your credit cards or start that home remodel. Loan Pronto has several easy options to let you access the cash from your home. There's virtually no paperwork, no cumbersome process, no junk fees, often no appraisals. Listen, the average homeowner now has over $300,000 in equity. That's your money. Use it. One client got $150,000 out and paid off all their credit cards, 2 car loans, and a personal loan, cutting their monthly expenses by $1,500. You can get approved in as little as 1 day, so act now with no hard credit pull up front. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. Get the money you need for anything at 904-999-1508 or just go to LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Getting a pool? David Garrard here. I just did. But before they dug, I called Clearwater Irrigation, and they capped off all my sprinkler lines so the pool company could just dig away.
Then when your pool's finished, we'll install your sprinkler system back to full coverage.
And now my backyard oasis is getting watered beautifully.
And maybe then, Dave, I could take another quick dip.
Bigger swimming trunks, John. Much bigger.
Clearwater Irrigation.
And drainage, too.
I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. The number 13 Florida baseball team was swept by number 4 Georgia over the weekend, finishing with an 11-run loss in 7 frames in the series finale Sunday. Brendan Lawson swatted for his 6th homer of the year in the second, but Bulldogs pitcher Leighton Finley picked up the win behind 5 innings of 1-run ball. The Gators will look to get back in the win column tomorrow as they take on number 5 Florida State for their second meeting this season. When they met earlier this month, Florida crushed the Seminoles by 5 runs in Tallahassee. The rivals will travel to Duval tomorrow for a neutral site meeting at Vistar Ballpark. Listen live at 5:55 on 1010 a.m. I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. It's 59 degrees at 8 o'clock. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah!
Man, it's a sad, pathetic life we live in some ways. You know, really important life, meaningful events. You know, take a back seat to whether or not your team wins. I mean, my entire mood yesterday, my entire outlook for the week, my entire scope is just dancing because we keep on dancing, watching Florida pull that game out yesterday. They'll take on Maryland. It's like they've scheduled this thing with me in mind, Dan. We get the early Thursday game, 7:30 tip. Perfect, right? Where the guy always complains about the 9:30 tips.
You could have got the 10:30 and you would have been bumming.
Maryland is the opponent. They beat Colorado State yesterday. It's been a very chalky tournament for the most part. The only double-digit seed in the top 10 in the Sweet 16 is Arkansas, and they're a 10 seed, and they're from a power conference. In fact, no mid-majors are even represented. They're all from the power conference, and there's only one from the ACC, Duke.
7 SEC programs, that's a record, made the Sweet 16. On one hand, that's great. But then on the other hand, you know, you got 14 teams in, law of averages. But they're definitely top-heavy. And the bottom teams, you can argue all day whether they were good enough or not good enough. It doesn't matter. The ones who got in minus Arkansas were the good ones. Now, inevitably, when you get 7, you're going to get some matchups, and you have one with Tennessee, Kentucky. Tennessee might be favored, but Kentucky beat them twice.
Let me give you, that would scare you. Let me make you the SEC argument even stronger.
Okay.
Because you said half the team, 7 of the 14. Understand the most available to them would have been 12. Because there would have been SEC matchups in the to go to the Sweet 16 in 2 of those. So they didn't have 14 teams eligible for the Sweet 16. They really only had 12.
Okay.
And Oklahoma played UConn pretty tough.
Yeah.
Really. So, and Arkansas is a team that was 8-10 in league. And I think what the Sweet 16 says, it doesn't justify.
St. John's played terrible.
Yeah, but it's also
Couldn't
the best.
make a shot.
It's the best, most dominant team in another league, losing to a middle of the pack SEC squad, who, by the way, has to play these other 6 teams twice this year. And so that's when it comes down to the arguments of the variables of records and conference records.
Let's see how many are in the Elite 8.
Yeah,
that'll be a big test, and I think ultimately. We'll see. You
probably
said
at least 4.
You said who was your best pick? Mine will.
Who's there and available? And,
I think mine will be proven in the next round, and that's where I have BYU beating Alabama.
So
if BYU wins. BYU beat Wisconsin. That was a bit of an upset. That's a 6 over a 3, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, I had BYU.
So looking at it, it appears that I went very heavy chalky.
I think we all did at this point.
Yeah.
I had BYU to the 16, so I joined you there in seeing that, but I don't have them winning the next one, so that would just worry. I would think that mine that has played out the best is I didn't buy into North Carolina staying hot and winning. I rode Ole Miss to beat both North Carolina and Iowa State, so I had Ole Miss into the Sweet 16.
And Ease will be proven out ultimately with Purdue. I mean, that's it. He went
also
hard.
have Texas Tech to the 8. I'm the only one that had them beating St. John, so that one could be my BYU.
How do you feel about Purdue, after watching him twice?
Boiler up.
Okay, but how do you really feel? Are you nervous? Or
would you switch to Houston if you could or no?
Houston looked pretty good.
Yeah, they did, but I still wouldn't, though.
Okay.
I'm going to just ride with them.
I mean,
that's fine.
They got Purdue has Houston, right? That's who they have to play.
Yeah.
We'll find out, won't we? Houston's a 7.5-point favorite there. The Gators, by the way, are 6.5-point favorites.
You know what's funny is me and E both have a perfect bracket in the Purdue bracket.
Okay. Oh, and I'm
and
disaster
you've blown
there.
up in that one.
Yeah, but I still have the
Final
champion.
4 pick. Yeah, the Final 4 pick. Tennessee. You need Tennessee to beat.
I had Tennessee and Kentucky both, so I got that one right. So I got the bottom of that right. Lots of 1s, 2s, 3s.
No, you don't. You went Xavier over Kentucky.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Huh. I thought I had Kentucky there. I must have been. Did Miss P have Kentucky? Maybe. I don't know. I got. You don't have hers. Of course not. I got hers mixed in with ours at home. She's about the same. It feels like a lot of people got, 26,
It's
27,
hard,
28 in that first round and have not, when it's chalky like this, everyone's an expert. We all have 12 of the Sweet 16. There's a lot of years you have 9 of the 16 and you're still in contention to win, or 7 of the 16 and you're still in contention to win. But, this year it's pretty easy to have 10, 11, 12 teams still alive.
Mm-hmm. There is, I think, and I didn't see last night, but going into last night's games, I think there was 1 perfect bracket left in the ESPN.
That doesn't seem possible, does it?
Just one. And I'm pretty sure they had Illinois, so they're probably not perfect anymore.
Yeah, well, they lost to Kentucky, so.
Yeah.
We have a bracket question, apparently, on the telephone lines.
Darren, go ahead.
A bracket question where the answer.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just happy Monday to you. Just wanted to ask y'all a question with the tournament, the way it's set up.
Sure.
I just wonder if the NCAA would ever consider, because it would be huge. It would be a major moneymaker continued on for the tournament. Do you ever see them ever getting down to the top 4 down when we get to the Final Four, or even the championship game of them doing a 2 out of 3 series? I mean, like the NBA does,
It's not a terrible idea. Yeah, it's not a
know?
terrible idea. Thank you for the question, Darren. It's not been talked about a ton, but you know what? When it comes down to the very last one, a 2 out of 3, that gets my attention.
Yeah, make more money.
Well,
More money
it
for sure.
allows you, and it allows. Although part of it is that variable of just one and done. Does Villanova have one of the most magical championships ever? Is NC State a champion today if they had to win 2 out of 3? Right? I mean, think about that. Think of some of the most special Cinderella stories in tournament history would be perhaps erased from the memory banks if in turn the other team turns around and wins the 2. Usually be the favorite, right?
I thought it was a big win for Kentucky's program in this respect. You've got Cal getting Arkansas to the Sweet 16. And then you look up in BYU, where your coach left is in the Sweet 16. And if you go out in the field of 32, it's like, oh, man. So I thought that was a big win for Kentucky. The kid with the injured shoulder is critical to their success.
Butler, is that his name?
Lamont Butler, who's from San Diego and hit a game winner to put them into the Natty Championship.
You said before these FAU players that all transferred out, there are 3 of them alive, including Elijah Martin for the Gators. Maryland is not a deep team, Dan. Florida's a big advantage here. This is a good matchup for them. I would expect to see that Florida team that wins games between 12 and 20 to return. I don't want to mush it. I feel really good about heading right to the Final Four. There's nothing about what remains in this bracket that looks like it's something that you can't handle. I mean, at the end of the day, Florida's been playing at a top 3 level for a month and a half, 2 months. And the teams in front of them that stand between them and a Final Four are Maryland, Texas Tech, and Arkansas. And I just don't feel like this is how that's going to end for this team. I feel like it'll end, against an Auburn or a Duke or a Michigan State before it's against them. And I will say this to sum up yesterday's win. Had a lot of history with UConn, haven't we?
Yes.
Florida, UConn have had a lot of history.
Lon Kruger.
Yeah. Way back, they beat Danielle Marshall, missed free throws down in Miami, and Florida went to a Final Four that was unexpected because
this one yesterday was for Pat.
Big Pat Young, UConn beat Florida in the Final Four. They had beaten Florida in the regular season, and Florida and UConn have played some regular season games through the years as well. So
I saw one the other day where. Gosh,
it's good to end a team's
UConn, Florida
too. Like, I'm surprised this wasn't at least mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Last team to win back-to-back was Florida, and it's Florida who makes sure that.
Well, UConn went back-to-back too.
Yeah, but I'm saying they couldn't do 3.
No.
They kept them from doing 3 in a row, which haven't been done since Wooden. So they at least protected that a little bit. I don't think that was that part of the narrative.
I was really getting tired. In fact, this is the bad side of me as the fan. I was getting tired of the kid's mom getting shown. I don't know why she kept getting shown. Why?
I saw her on TV more than Alex Condon yesterday. I mean, he went AWOL and didn't matter.
But when he missed a 3 down the stretch, I may have screamed in the Hicken household, hey, bleep, show mama now.
I like seeing the parents. I do, but they showed her a little too much. I like to see all the parents.
I mean, show Will Richards' dad. He was repping over there.
Yeah,
show Walt's mom. I mean, we hardly got any of that.
But they didn't recognize them as much. McNeely was Miss America. Stop it.
I mean, somebody on Twitter told me she averaged 3 points a game at Rice. I mean,
she better be. That needs to be Cooper Flagg's mama if I'm going to see her that much. Liam McNeely shouldn't get Cooper Flagg treatment.
Well, they got away from Cooper Flagg's mom.
He's a nice player, by the way.
Yeah, he is. He'll be
a Mike Miller in him.
He's a one and done. He's a one and done.
Yeah.
He's off to the association.
Good for him.
Which,
I'd like to see Danny Hurley struggle to some sub 500 years and just flame out like the maniac that he is. It's not going to go down pretty when it goes down with him. He should have taken that Laker job, boys.
Yeah.
Although you can see he wouldn't have lasted, would he? He's crazy. Those guys would chew him up, wouldn't they? Wouldn't LeBron just chew him up?
They try that
like that. Yeah, he tries that nonsense with them.
He wouldn't have been able to.
It's kind of surprising. The Lakers, to be honest with you, you interview that guy and you sit down in a room with him that you would offer him the job. He's too frenetic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. He drew up a good scheme to keep his team in the game yesterday. They play with a champion's heart. I'll give him credit for that.
He did. What? Walter Clayton's threes are big. He starts making. There's been a lot of unbelievable Gator basketball moments through the years because now you got to remember, if Golden can get him to the Final Four, then you've got Lon did it. You got to understand when we were in school, Florida going to the tournament was a big deal.
Well, it's the first turn. 86 was the first time they went.
Yeah. So
they went 3 years in a row.
You would have Lon. You would have Billy's 4, and then you'd have a third coach get them to a Final Four. That's pretty impressive. This will be what, their fifth? No, sixth one?
In the last 30 years.
Is this their sixth in history?
Yeah, well, they've been.
Billy went to what, 5? He went to 1.
Billy went to
2,
4.
3, 4. Yeah.
And then
Lon
went to
5.
And this would be 6.
And this would be 6. Yeah. So.
And it would be 3 different coaches, and it would span. That's 6 in 30 years too, which is.
But they still need 2 more wins. So
yeah, they do. And we're to the time of the tournament now, especially with these seeds advancing like they are. That there are no easy games.
No.
There's no easy game.
No. These are all teams that are playing well, obviously.
Right. They've won a couple of games. They've beaten good teams.
Maryland showed moxie. They were going down
Yeah,
last
they were.
night. They were going down.
I was kind of torn, Dan. A part of me, I know Maryland's the better team, but you also get scared of that single man entity that can get hot and just carve his place out in NCAA tournament history. And that Nick Clifford was that kind of guy. I didn't want him to do like the Steph Curry Davidson story.
The Whiskey Kid was doing that, and then I don't know what he was thinking on that last shot. He just went down and stopped, and so my BYU guy just put his hands straight up in the air, and he was screwed. He had nowhere to go and threw it up, and it was no good. And BYU and the luncher was very depressed about that, I'm sure. But big win for the Cougars. All right, this is the drill. We're rocking and rolling here on a Monday. Good things happening. We got more coming up, some football talk as well. What's Aaron Rodgers going to ever do? Maybe nothing. Maybe just retire. I don't know. No one knows. But Jameis is going to New York.
All right, I have this is a typical deep in the offseason, but because Aaron Rodgers' status is still floating out there, you can always kind of pick apart a list like this. But somebody decided, where does Aaron Rodgers rank on the list of all-time quarterbacks? And they ranked the top 30. I don't want to come back and go through the top 30 of the all-time rankings, but I'm curious where you would put him.
Yeah.
As his career now comes to a close. He'll have one more. If he does have one more stop, it'll go just like last year or something. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to take anybody anywhere special, I wouldn't think, but kind of thought the same thing probably about Favre at that age, and he still had one more in him. All right, we're taking a break. Is that where we're at?
We are.
All right, this is the drill. We're live inside the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Where Jaguars fans find common ground.
We need to do ball!
1010XL. 10XL.
Lauren Brooks here. At Hodges Mazda, they are proud of their solid reputation in the Jacksonville community. As your hometown Mazda dealer, their high customer service standards and their huge inventory of new and used cars provide their customers a consistently first-rate car buying experience. Their professional non-commissioned sales team puts your best interest first without exception. And all new vehicle purchases include the Hodges Mazda Protection Package. Visit them online at HodgesMazda.com or stop in today to learn more and discover the Hodges Mazda difference.
Hey, certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in great hands with ITP Partners. Those are Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. When I talk about ITP Partners, I talk about experience, expertise. I talk about knowledge. I talk about Reed Wingate and Janice Cobb. I talk about Scott Regner and Dan Abel, Reagan Wright, Jeff Hartman, Chris Bryan. Those are the ITP partners that I listen to. Why? Because I trust them. Why? Because they have my money and it's growing. Why? Because they sit down and listen and they give us each an individualized strategy where our goals become their priority. It's a great time to get started. Get in the game, man. What are you waiting for? Chris at ITPpartners.com. Chris at ITPpartners.com or call 312-9751. 312-9751. They're ITP Partners. They're my financial partners for life. Uncompensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Buying a diamond, wedding band, or piece of fashion jewelry in Jacksonville? You have two choices. You can go to locally owned Beard's Diamonds, or you can go to one of those mega national chain jewelry stores. The national chains are pretty much all the same. In fact, did you know that some of them are owned by the same conglomerate? Yes, the same Wall Street company owns all the big names. So if you're looking for extreme value with genuine personal attention, come experience the Beard's Diamond difference. At Beard's, our diamonds come straight from the source. We hand select each one for maximum brilliance. We don't have to apply corporate markups and tack on salespeople commissions, so we beat the chains on price every single day. Beards has the strongest warranties, not gotcha clauses in fine print. Beards has all the top designers, including Tacori and Viraggio. Beards doesn't have out-of-state regional managers calling about sales quotas. We are all local, family-owned, with total freedom to do what's right for our customers. Beards Diamonds, all the selection, quality, value, and service you want from local people, accountable only to you. Beards in the St. John's Town Center.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Get ready for an unforgettable night of classic rock with legendary vocalist Jeff Tate. Known for his iconic work with Queensryche, Jeff Tate brings his unforgettable sound to the Florida Theater for one night only.
A round-trip journey in your head.
Witness the hit album Operation Mindcrime, performed in its entirety for the final time. Jeff Tate, Operation Mindcrime, April 3rd at Florida Theater. Tickets at floridatheater.com.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town. Setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians, ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
When no names become household names. Listen for March moments all month long on 1010XL. Driven by Garber Auto Mall. We can wiggle it.
Welcome to ABS Advanced Business Solutions, your local authorized technology partner and home to Xerox copiers.
Advanced Business Solutions.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here. In the past 10 years, the weight loss industry has seen it all. New medications, fad diets, sculpting, and still, Awaken 180 continues to stand alone as the proven solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Yo, it's your main man, E to the T, for Twin Peaks, which happens to be the go-to to catch all the madness, by the way. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees. And rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. And it's bigger game days than bolder fight nights, my boy. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that's always coming through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late at night? Only at the number one spot, Twin Peaks, the number one sports bar. Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on draft, cocktail shots, and more. And tell them ET sent you.
What does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit cssoutdoor.com.
The 2025 NFL season is right around the corner, and the Jags are building something special. A fresh team, a new culture, and a stadium that's going to change the game. Be there to witness head coach Liam Cohen and the rest of the coaching crew in action and secure your place in line for the stadium of the future with your 2025 season ticket membership. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you at the bank this fall.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
As you know, I'm a degenerate.
That I do. Degenerate Dan.
And I've stumbled upon one of the great easy money, and I announced this to Googans that I have not heard my riches being. I expected a few bird dogs from the Googans.
People throw it like tips. You know, you need to get like a, get them a kick or something.
I gave them this. So I'll stand by it. It's happened. It's tried and true.
Mm-hmm.
And you can expand it as far as you want. But for me, it's just the number one seed. It's the number one seed on the women's side against the number 16 seed.
Okay.
Really, in women's basketball, they ought to just do an Elite Eight. because you want to talk about chalk winning. But anyway, the number 1 seed, they can't make the point spread big enough, dude. And so they'll do like 38, and then South Carolina will win 105-37. It's gold. It's a gold mine. I did 1, 2, and 3 this year and tracked them, which would be what? 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 teams total.
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3 in each region. 11 of the 12 covered. The only one that didn't missed by 1 point.
Well, that sounds like, something that people should jump on.
I'm just throwing it out there for you guys. You might want to put it away for next year. Now, it's getting a little bit more competitive. At some point, it's going to end, but right now, easy money. Easy money. You hear a lot of those. You hear a lot of those horror stories, though.
It surprises me that if they've been like banging this drum and you've known about this, that you didn't capitalize on it.
How do you know I didn't capitalize?
Because I've had this.
I keep my wins down.
Yeah, no, because I know, because I've talked to you. And
I keep my wins quiet, my losses more quiet.
Oh.
That's how I roll.
Okay.
I thought Derek Queen traveled, by the way. But I also knew they would never call the travel. Everybody travels. But he clearly took 2.5 steps. We're talking about the Maryland freshman who hit the game winner. There was no question in my mind. As soon as it happened, I go, man, that's a travel. But they're not going to call it.
He basically took like 3 steps. When he picked up his ball, he had not finished that first of what will become 3 steps. So I will say this:
the NBA ruined the whole traveling thing.
And
then they threw that term Euro step.
Well, there is a Euro step. It's like when you take your 2 steps for a layup, but you do it in slow motion almost, so it always looks weird.
Yeah.
I will say this, and I'm not going to disagree with if you slow mo this video down.
Yeah.
You could argue, but there's a little bit of rub of the green here, and more on that in a second. Because you see what Gene Steratore said about it?
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Okay.
Gene Steratore is annoying in college basketball. He always sides with the officials. I've noticed that. Sorry.
Okay. Well, but he was also a former college. Not only was it an NFL official, he was also a college basketball official.
I know that.
Listen, it's interesting what the studio crew was saying. Barkley and Kenny Smith and Clark Kellogg is kind of what I said.
Okay.
As I watched it live. I watched the replay. I watched it, and there was never any part of me that said, man, he traveled.
Did Chuck see the play? Because Chuck a lot of times has not seen anything. They say, Chuck, what do you think of the first half? Ooh, that's caught me off guard. I wasn't watching it. That's what Chuck dropped at us during.
Probably shouldn't make that public. I will say this about, the stereotype. It is a point, man, we can be so precise with the breaking down of from technologically.
Okay.
That I can overanalyze. Sometimes you gotta watch what's natural when it's happening. I don't think that gets called a travel in the park, I need to be playing in the park, so I can't worry about him not calling. Colorado wasn't going crazy.
The letter of the rule.
I get it, but no one went crazy in the moment. Not one. Anytime. No. If there's something that is,
I get it.
There is somebody somewhere. The coach is running out. The player, something. Nobody said anything. Like, oh damn, good shot.
Okay.
That was a lucky shot. He was all off balance, going the wrong way. It's not how you would draw it up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is a tough shot. We haven't talked about how hard the shot is.
Oh, it was a tough shot.
I mean, off the wrong foot, fading away, and off the glass.
How many of those, if he took 10 of them, would he make? Half of them?
I would say now, after
Maybe
watching
less.
him do it, because it looked pretty, man. It looked smooth, like he knew what he was doing all along.
Yeah, it did.
Of course, if they let you take 3 steps, I guess we can all do a lot, huh? Maryland is a good basketball team. Over the course of the year in the Big Ten, they were a very good team. I think I just going by my memory and not necessarily looking at their schedule per se, but I feel like Maryland went through a little bit of a doldrum, and I kind of toward the end of the year. Let me look what let's see, in the Big Ten this year. Maryland was the second place team. They tied with Michigan, 14-6. But yeah, they were 5. That's not. I keep looking at something that I think is last 10, but it's actually different designation. So, but listen, no depth, man. They play 7 guys, Hick.
Okay.
They don't play much out of 7, and Florida's a bad matchup for a team like that. Florida run 10 or 11 at you without thinking, and they will stay fresh. And
I think we ought to cut it by one. I've had enough of herbs.
Who? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Klavjar, he got in there yesterday, just did some crazy stuff, man. Right away, threw the ball away and then fouled. Okay, see you later.
Yeah, he was out.
Maybe the moment was just a tad too big. I'm looking at Maryland's year. Let's look at the ranked teams they played.
Okay.
They played Marquette in November, lost 78-74.
Okay, close game.
They played Purdue in December, lost 83-78.
Okay.
Played, Marquette was 15, Purdue was 8. They played number 9 Oregon in January, lost 83-79.
Mm-hmm.
Played number 22 UCLA. They won 79-61. They played at number 17 Illinois. They won 91-70.
Mm-hmm.
They played number 17 Wisconsin. They won 76-68. Played number 8 Michigan State, lost 58-55. Beat number 17 Michigan 71-65. Beat number 24 Illinois again by 20-something, 88-65. Lost to Michigan in was that the Big Ten title game? I think it was. Or did Michigan State win that? But they lost 81-80 in the Big Ten title game. So, no, they weren't necessarily cool coming in. They've been pretty hot. They won 4, 8, 12 of their last 15.
All right, before we go to break.
Angel Reese's brother plays for them, by the way.
Really?
Did y'all know that? Yeah.
No, I did not know.
He's pretty good. I mean, he starts and scores.
Great. The ESPN put out its power rankings. It's way too early. After free agency just came out a couple hours ago, and the Jags are way down at the bottom, kind of along what we were talking about earlier. And they went down 2 spots after free agency. Went from 26 to 28.
Okay, that speaks to kind of what I was just kind of where we're at now that everything's over.
In a way, that's almost, I hate to say this, in a way that's, if you look at it from a certain viewpoint of we got to build through the draft, in a way that's almost celebratory because you didn't lose your mind in free agency. Like, what did the Chicago Bears do? The Chicago Bears spent a lot of money. And I don't know. I'm going to see if they went up, like where they have them ranked. They have them the same, okay? But because they rebuilt their offensive line through free agency, which I thought was interesting. They have their under-the-radar move. The Jags' under-the-radar move is signing Nick Mullins. I don't know. I love you, D-Rock. I don't care about Nick Mullins signing here. He's any other backup quarterback. It all hinges on Trevor. So
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a good backup quarterback.
His point is that, he comes from Minnesota where Gudinski was, blah, blah.
No.
And the offense will be similar too. Yeah.
Nick Mullins is terrible.
So Mullins will offer Trevor.
I love you, Nick. If you're out there on the way to the golf course this morning, I don't mean you're terrible. I just mean your stats and your win-loss percentage are all bad.
Yeah. But the top teams in the NFL, again, and where we want to be, and obviously it seems like we've got some work to do to get there. Kansas City remains number 1. Philadelphia, number 2. Probably should be Philly. All they did was change the quarterback depth chart. Detroit is 3. Buffalo is 4. Baltimore is 5. Washington's a team that's moved up. They're 6.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. But they also feel like a team that can move right back down quick, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One other thing I heard this, so I'll steal it, though. What's funny? We like to throw the term bust out at quarterbacks who are like top 10 picks and right? In fairness. He's a bust. Achilles Smith, the one that comes to my immediate mind. Joey Harrington.
I think you have to be that guy. I don't think
Tim Couch. Yeah. Okay, let me throw this name in. How come this guy doesn't get the term bust slapped on him? Jameis Winston.
I think he does.
He's a huge bust. No, everybody loves Jameis.
Yeah, they love his personality, but everyone knows he's a turnover machine. He can't keep a job anywhere. No one's really excited.
He's on his 4th team.
He just got 2 years, $8 million. Nothing screams bust than a quarterback getting $4 million a year.
His personality is what keeps that bust word out.
But they don't never say bust about Jameis.
Nope.
I think they do.
I
consider him a bust. He's the number 1 pick in the draft. Yes.
There's no question.
Okay, go back to his Tampa.
Marcus Mariota.
Go back to his Tampa. Look at his Tampa tenure and how it was described when he left.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I know, but since then, it's no longer slap. They never say Winston the bust. Winston the bust.
You know why? Because he's that irrelevant, and to his point, his personality is now taken over.
Yeah, so they want.
But I think it's well established that he was a huge bust.
Right.
What's more interesting is when you get into territory like a Blake Bortles. Is that a bust? I mean, at the end of the day, you spend a number 3 overall pick on a guy that stayed on your team 5 or 6 years, but he wasn't like pitifully inept. He's a weird one. It's weird. He's kind of like a Minshew with size.
The boat. All right, we'll take a break. We'll keep it rolling. This is the drill on 1010XL 92.5.
I got the 30 quarterback. We'll do it as soon as we get back. Where do we put Rodgers?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just push the blue button. The blue button. Is that it? Yeah, why? What's wrong? Nothing. I just thought it'd be more complicated than that.
1010XL.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam.
Hey, Hicken here from my friends at Beaches Dermatology. You've heard me talk about Beaches Dermatology quite often because I love Beaches Dermatology. Doctors Boudreaux, Doctors Metz, Dr. Fader with the Mohs surgery have done a great job taking care of me through the years, right? And they'll do that. And by the way, the staff second to none. Shout out to Solano Road. Have a great day over there, folks. And by the way, it's not just me. Voted one of the top workplaces of 2025 via the Jacksonville Business Journal. So I'm not alone in my thinking of how well Beaches Dermatology is. They want to remind you, though, protect yourself from the sun, man. Spring is here, man. We're outside now. Put on that floppy hat, man. Protect those ears. Long sleeve dry fits. You know, if you're going to the park to watch your son play or daughter play, or if you're out golfing or fishing. And if something does show up on your skin, go get it checked out. Don't wait. Best thing to do is go online. Go online at beachesdermatology.com, beachesdermatology.com. Make an appointment. There are different locations to serve you. You'll be glad you did. Nobody better than Beaches Dermatology.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out. You need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house. Because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Calling all fun-loving citizens of Northeast Florida. Freedom Boat Club needs your help. Lisa the Botanista has gone missing. She left a note that said, "Gone boating." But here's the thing. Freedom Boat Club has 4 local locations, Julington Creek, Jack's Beach, and 2 in St. Augustine, and over 400 locations across the world. That's a lot of water to cover. Is she water skiing on the Ozarks, whale watching in the Pacific, or island hopping in Spain? Or hiding right here at the Black Creek Rope Swing, or docking at the Conch House? Wait, has anyone checked Fort George Island? Too much to do on the water. So Freedom Boat Club is offering our best discount of all time, so you can help search. You simply make your reservation, show up, and have fun. I gotta go. I'm hopping on a boat to the fish camp for live music and lunch. Maybe I'll find the Botanista listed there. Or better yet, maybe you'll join us with the best discount ever and enjoy boating made simple. Don't blame us when you start playing hooky too. Visit freedomboatclub.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
The rumors and trades.
That is the game within the game.
The decisions and deadlines.
Our work is not done now.
The off-season overflows with surprising storylines.
I'm all ears.
Let AA Automotive and 1010XL guide you through the off-season. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
You should call us the cult of personality. Who knows? Welcome back here. We're inside the divorcemenonly.com studios. Text on designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 25,000 passing yards, 150 passing touchdowns. Jameis Winston wasn't a bust. You're on an island, friend. You're the number 1 pick in the draft. You play 5 years at a franchise who let you go after that 5-year run, and the 30 interceptions that you accumulated that season when you have when you're
4 teams.
Yeah, when you're 36-54 as a starting quarterback, when you've never won a playoff game, that you're a bust. You're the number 1 pick in the draft. That matters.
Yeah.
Now, if you're the 8th pick in the draft, no, that's different. There's a drop-off point there where your bust factor starts to really go down based on where you were taken, right? If you're taken in the 1 or 2 or 3, the bust is a more appropriate label to put on someone.
Iowa has agreed to make Drake coach Ben McCullum the school's next coach.
Drake is in Iowa, I think, isn't it?
Yes.
The school, yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
Well, I'm just curious if there's a tie in there.
Midwest guy.
Anyway.
No.
Drake is a pretty good program, it feels like. Although I think this was their first win.
Was it?
I think I heard that, but I don't know.
It's in a city called Des Moines.
Mm-hmm. It's right up the road from your favorite TV show.
Des Moines?
Yeah.
Is it by Schitt's Creek?
I think it's just down the Des Moines River.
Oh, okay.
Cedar Rapids, maybe. But I do believe, isn't your show based in the state of Iowa or no? Or is it up in the Northeast?
Nobody knows.
I refuse to say it. I have a little more couth than that.
You're couthy. I'm describing yourself, couth. Is that how you do it?
It's in, the filming location is Canada, but that's not what we want to know. Where is it in the show?
What are the top 30 quarterbacks? Nobody cares where Schitt's Creek is.
Oh, my goodness.
Just keep saying
9.
It's the name of the show, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
I can go find some other shows that have profanity in the title. It doesn't give me, license to just go rattling them off. This is
what?
It's like, yeah.
Name one.
I can. Let's just move along. Yeah.
Write it down.
That's why I'm not.
Write it down.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
I'm not. Yeah, no, you're not.
You're talking about the Bond movie?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm not talking about that. But yeah, that would be another one of the examples.
You wouldn't say that one?
Well, there's no reason to.
Oh.
Right. I mean, to say it just for the shock value, I would shy away from. Where is if Aaron Rodgers' career ends now, where would he be all time? And if his career ended 5 years ago, where would we have him all time? Can you play your way down a lifetime ranking based on where you are? Because I feel like everyone was telling me Aaron Rodgers was like a top 5 all-time quarterback 5 years ago. Am I overstating that?
No.
Yeah, right? You see, you could put him in the top 5, I think. I think people would have gone like Brady and Montana and Manning and Marino and Aaron Rodgers.
Dang.
I do. I feel that's what everyone thought. I'm not in that of that belief, but I know that, and again, especially in the onset of social media, sometimes you argue just to argue, but I do know it kind of like offended me as a fan when they wanted to say that Rodgers was better than Brady.
They would say that.
There was times during their career where they would say that he's better than Brady, and they said it because he was winning MVPs and he was throwing the ball around. But at the end of the day,
Rodgers had some hellacious years.
Yeah, some hellacious hallucinations too along the way. And you can't win with a guy who's wired like Aaron Rodgers. That became apparent when you're as talented as he is, and you have the talent around you that he's had, and you can't win. You're the reason.
He threw 48 at the age of 37.
Yeah,
he threw 48 touchdowns with 5 picks.
Yeah, and then went right into the postseason and lost because you're not a leader. You're a weirdo.
Okay.
So anyway, where does he rank all time?
Top 10 quarterback all time.
Top 10. So he didn't fall out of. Could he still be 5? Let me ask you this: Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers?
In the prime. In the prime?
Just careers.
They both won 1 Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. I don't know why, but Drew Brees always seemed like he's above. He's that next guy, so I'm probably go Drew Brees.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, I'm going Drew Brees, man.
Okay.
The only player in NFL history with more touchdown passes and passing yards is Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would Aaron Rodgers has played healthy football for a long time like Brees, so I wouldn't want to shortchange him.
What's his touchdown to interception ratio, please?
For Brees, I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'll go Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes.
How big of a separation should there be? How many quarterbacks should be between Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers? Or should there be? Are they in the same general neighborhood?
I mean, I
feel like a list is messed up if Aaron Rodgers is 1 spot behind Patrick Mahomes on it.
You think so?
I do. I don't know how Patrick Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls.
You hate Aaron Rodgers.
No, I don't hate Aaron
Yes, you
Rodgers.
do.
No, I don't hate Aaron Rodgers.
Drew Brees has 571 touchdowns, 243 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers has 503 touchdowns, 116 interceptions. That's way better. Way
breezy.
153 and 87, 172 and 114. That's
but that's in the same again. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers fell short of what he was supposed to do. So multiple MVP. All the other multiple MVPs are not finishing with 1 Super Bowl, Hick. This guy won 4 MVP. All the other multiples.
So he's getting penalized because because the voters kept giving him MVPs?
Either that or he's getting penalized because he couldn't win titles like MVPs, multiple MVPs in the past in his category have.
Well, what are the give me the
part.
quarterback rankings?
He's 7. I mean 8. He's 8. He's in between Mahomes and Favre.
All right.
But
who's 1?
Well, it's Brady.
Who's 2?
Montana, who finally is rightfully resettled where he should be.
Really? And then 3 is Manning?
To me, it's
Who's
Montana.
3?
It's Manning.
Who's 4?
Marino.
I could have guessed that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's 5?
Marino might be a little high if he weren't such a trendsetter, but he was like the first to throw these.
I mean, why don't you rip Marino? He didn't win anything.
I do. I because he's not. No one's trying to tell me he's more than he is.
Well, they got him 4th all time.
Well, that's because they had him 1st all time for a while. I tried to.
Who's 5th?
5th is Johnny Unitas.
Who's 6th?
Like different era. 6th is Elway.
Interesting. Who's 7th?
Mahomes.
Who's 8th?
Rodgers.
9th? Favre. 10th.
10 Breeze. 11.
Okay, stop. Now give me 11 through 20.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
Steve Young.
Great quarterback.
Otto Graham.
Great winner, but he's Johnny Unitas in that respect.
Terry Bradshaw. Winner,
Overrated.
but no stats.
Yeah.
Roger Staubach.
Okay.
Probably underrated Staubach, to be honest. Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah.
Bart Starr.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman.
Yeah. These are the winners. These are the winning quarterbacks, E. 11 through 20 are all the winners, but not necessarily like
I just think Rodgers gets too much credit. His numbers aren't any better than Ben Roethlisberger's, and Roethlisberger won.
Like, who's a better quarterback, Joe Namath or Terry Bradshaw?
That's real similar.
Yeah.
I'd probably go Namath.
Like, do you think Namath were on Pittsburgh? They would have been like
Namath is in the 30s.
Yeah,
it's in the top 30.
Okay.
But
finished the top 20, or did you already?
no, I didn't. 17 was Aikman. 18 was Roethlisberger. He's too low.
Yeah.
Roethlisberger's too low.
Yeah.
Like, Roethlisberger, to me, would have an argument.
Roethlisberger's better than Bradshaw.
I think Roethlisberger.
Isn't he?
I think Roethlisberger, you could argue, has had a better career than Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
He's got more. I bet he's got more numbers, doesn't he? In Roethlisberger.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think he has more passing yards than Aaron Rodgers?
I don't think so.
Now, he started super slow those first couple of years. But Roethlisberger had those 5,000 passing yard seasons. Where is he? I bet they're close.
It's the Super Bowls for Big Ben, though. That's what it is.
64,000 passing yards, 418, 211. Rodgers over 500 and only 118 picks. But he won a lot of games. All these guys are great, by the way.
Yeah. We're splitting hairs.
He is actually 1,000 yards ahead of Rodgers in passing yards.
And he may end up with more passing yards. So I just more. I mean, anyway. That surprises you, huh?
Yeah, I didn't realize Big Ben was slinging it like that.
19 and 20.
19, Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
That seems a little low,
Great
too.
quarterback.
I mean, I could make some arguments over some of these guys they got down there out of some, reciprocal. Why Tittle? We almost got to do a separate category for the Tittles and Stars and Unituses. It's just a different era, a different game. Tough. Stabler 21. That seems now we're starting to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Was Ken Stabler, honest to God, if you had a game to go, and Ken Stabler's a winner, he's a great gutty person, any better than Mark Brunell? If you had a game to play in their prime.
I remember the Snake competed with Daryl LaMonica for the starting job. LaMonica beat him out all those years.
It's a lot like the Burline Brunell.
Not really, but
I think that now he did. Now, in fairness, Stabler I think was an NFL MVP. No, I feel like in the early 70s he was. Yeah, I think he was, but I don't.
All right, I don't think so, but he may have been.
Let me look.
George Blanda was.
Yeah, maybe
remember that?
Yeah,
I think George Blanda won an NFL MVP because he was kicking and throwing. And
I thought I saw something with what's his face.
That might be right.
I usually don't win these.
It's tough to rate.
I haven't got this one right since Hicken.
Where's Trevor at?
He's not there yet.
He ain't there. How far does the list go?
Okay, it goes to 30.
30?
And it's over.
Who's the 30th quarterback?
Stand by. Fouts 24, Sonny Jurgensen 25, Len Dawson 26, Phillip Rivers 27, Warren Moon 28, Joe Namath 29, and number 30, the fiery former Atlanta Falcon head coach,
Norm
Eagles quarterback Norm Van Brocklin.
And no Matt Ryan. But they put Norm Van Brocklin in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
1974, Ken Stabler, MVP.
How about that?
In between OJ and Fran Tarkenton.
This is the drill on 1010XL. Get ready. It's the 9 o'clock nasty. We'll say all those TV shows after the break.
1010XL puts the ball in play-by-play.
Kick on the way.
Impeccable today.
From way downtown.
That ball's ripped.
For play-by-play, it's 1010XL.
It's Baloo, and I couldn't see everyone else here at the station lose weight while I'm on the sidelines wishing mine away. I jumped on Awaken 182, and I mean weight loss every week, eating to lose weight, and then receive full support for life. What's not to like? Now, I didn't drop the double digits like Hacker did in week 1, but I'm down 4 pounds. I'll take that any day. The best part, Awaken 180 was actually easier than I expected. I'm not sure what I thought beforehand, but after just day 1, I was already in a groove. Wasn't hungry, more energy, and my coach Patrick is awesome. Gave me a couple of tips since I do sleep in and, of course, stay up late. And I'm off. I'm cruising through week 2 and loving it. You've heard all about Choose Awaken 180, all of us having success with Awaken 180. What do you have to lose? Only weight. Everything else to gain with the solution for weight loss. Reserve your March consultation today at awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group, 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Your hole-in-one for men's health is Ackerman Urology. With offices in Mandarin, Middleburg, World Golf Village, and the beaches, Ackerman will get you on par for any prostate conditions and sexual vitality. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Hicken here with lots more on George Moore Chevrolet. Hey, Justin Moore, what are you doing in our commercial?
Dan, this Moore just wanted to remind folks of vehicles less than $20,000 on our lot. Or you can always go more with our Silverado EV.
I have my boy Blue, that beautiful Gator Blue Silverado. Love, love, love it. And that service department, second to none. Let's just say it means more to Gabe and the boys who take great care of us.
Not to mention, we do more for the community. We love Jacksonville. Been around these parts since 1986.
George Moore Chevrolet. Need I say more?
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performancepainting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Grinding out good grades can be just as challenging as winning games. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234. Wednesdays on The Frangie Show.
Slacker plumbing.
Yeah, hey, listen, I need a plumber over here right now.
Yeah, well, we don't have any openings for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep.
I was just changing the shower head and the water line broke and it's flying everywhere.
All right, 1 week.
What if I throw you an extra $100 to come now?
What's the address?
It's 205.
Oh, I guess he changed his mind.
If you've got a leak that can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing and fix your plumbing problems fast. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Listen up, poker players. March is heating up at all 3 Best Bet locations. The Bad Beat jackpots are now uncapped, soaring to new heights. So don't miss your chance to win big. Plus, get in on the $42,000 weekend windfall, featuring $1,000 high hands every Friday and $500 high hands on Saturdays. And starting March 3rd, the Race to a Race promotion is back. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
One thing that separates Beard's Diamonds from those other jewelry stores at the town center, no one's paid on commission.
Nobody at Beard's is on commission. That's more of your corporate stores that pay commission.
Beard's owner, John Lupo, says that means no pressure, no hidden agenda, no extra markups.
And you're getting a better deal. You're not paying the corporate commission. You're not paying the salesperson's commission. If they're paying their salespeople commission, you're starting off in the hole.
And that's why you feel like a number at most jewelry stores, because it's all about making the sale, but not at Beard's.
Because it's a corporate atmosphere and they want to sell you what they want to sell you. We're here to sell you what you want. Our salespeople can do whatever they want to make sure that the customer is happy.
So relax. At Beard's Diamonds, they have all the things you want, like quality education, selection, warranties, and none of the stuff you don't want, like pressure and tacked on commissions.
Nobody's making an extra 5 or 10% on Beard's customers.
Beard's Diamonds, the town center's only locally owned jeweler.
We sell better merchandise, better product for less money, guaranteed.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. The number 1 seeded Florida men's basketball team is still dancing through March Madness. The Gators are advancing to the Sweet 16 after a narrow 2-point victory over 2-time defending champion UConn yesterday. Walter Clayton Jr. led the way for the Gators with a game-high 23, scoring 13 of those in the final 8 minutes. Florida will take on 4th-seeded Maryland Thursday, who defeated 12th-seed Colorado State to advance. Catch live coverage at 7 on 1010 a.m. The JU men's basketball team tips off tonight in the College Basketball Invitational. The Dolphins will make their first ever appearance in the CBI as they take on the Incarnate Word Cardinals in the quarterfinals. Listen live at noon on 10:10 a.m. I'm Tori Edwards with your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update on 1010XL. It's 62 degrees at 9 o'clock. Time and temperature brought to you by Bueller Air & Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Duval.
I don't know when we're back, so there we go.
904, baby.
Man, I don't want to get too dramatic. It's only a second-round game. It was against a really, really good opponent. Where does Walter Clayton's game yesterday rank in the Florida tournament games? I mean, there have been guys that have hit bigger individual shots, and I'm not carrying around the statistical hardware from every run that Florida has made. And they've suddenly got like 48 or 49 tournament wins in their history. They've suddenly, this is all happened in the last 40 years. The first tournament appearance didn't come till the mid 80s. But considering the stakes, considering how the game was going, considering their expectations and the ceiling that is there, those were huge shots he hit down the stretch. Those rise up and drain threes off the dribble, hand in the face, in the biggest of moments is about as memorable as I can recall. For I remember, like, it was hard, and this kind of circles back to what we were talking about before. But the 04s, the team that won it in back-to-back in 6 and 7. They were just so well-rounded that no one stood out. Like, you can remember, I remember Corey Brewer with a block against Georgetown in one of those runs. I can remember, them. I just remember them running the floor, even with Jokum. But there's no like individual game performance. Like, I wonder what is the high-scoring game? And can you remember a game where a player just went off in a tournament game? Like, I wonder who it is. Like, I feel like I'm going to look and it'll be like, Eric Murphy or someone. Yeah, I don't know what the single game high is for Florida.
Yeah, it'd be a tough find, but
it is a hard find.
Yeah. I've noticed one thing about college basketball. We were talking about it last night. Boy, they all score 90 points now, don't they? I mean, there's a lot of points being scored. Is this the whole three-point line thing again? Is that what's happening? That was
a lot of guys are scoring 90 now.
Yeah, I mean, all these, college basketball used to be 65 to 62.
Are they? But do they fire up the three ball like that, or is the game the
Some
pace
do.
is a little bit faster?
The pace might be a little bit faster too. I was looking at that, like Loyola Marymount beat Michigan 149 to 115. You remember that game?
Yes.
It was a second round game.
Yeah.
But Loyola was go, go, go. That's when they had Bo Kimball and those guys. So they're in all the highest scoring games. Yeah, Loyola's in the top 5 highest scoring games of all time. Isn't that crazy? Duke beat Kentucky in 92 in that Elite Eight game. That was, some say, the best, 104-103. That was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know who Florida's. I know the biggest clutch shot in Gator basketball tournament history, probably Chiozza. I mean, I don't know.
Mike Miller. He hit that dry,
Butler,
that was a 12-5 the year they ended up going to the Final Four that year. That was the first rounder. He kind of hit that leaner in the lane. They were down a point, so
that's true.
Had to hit it. Chiozza also, they always mean more to me when you're down.
Yeah.
Like, you got to freedom in a tie game to let it go without the dire consequences. So, but I think Chiozza would be in the postseason. That would probably be second. I'm trying to remember. They had a lot of easy wins, man.
Yeah.
On the back-to-back. The Georgetown game was close. I don't recall there being that was the team that had Jeff Green. ET, you know Jeff Green from the league?
Yeah, I remember Jeff Green.
That '99 team. They got tested there. That we had some big, UCLA. I felt like we beat them every year in the
One
tournament.
thing about Florida, man, they've had a great one-loss record in the tournament.
Yeah, they're like 48-20, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been terrific. 2 natties, obviously, but they have been statistically they have been really, really good. I think is it. We have made now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Sweet 16s. First one was in 1987, 12 Sweet 16s. Elite 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going for our 10th Elite 8. And then, as I mentioned, 5 Final Fours earlier. So, they've done some work in the tournament. They've done some work.
All right, the Sharks went to work. Now, we've been talking with Coach Jason Gibson as he's built this year's team, learning lessons from a year ago. They opened the season at Massachusetts, I think it was.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, and we're going to have the home opener in a week and a half. And what we want to be for the home opener, Dan, after a weekend trip to Mass, is we want to be 1-0. So let's find out together.
Are we 1-0?
Yes. Are we? It's time to play. Are we 1-0?
I think the answer is yes.
We can do it with a set of statistical, because I know.
I think it's a resounding yes.
That's 45-26.
Okay.
So, technically we knew the answer, but in order to, butter the bread of head coach Jason Gibson, it's time to talk Sharks football. Coach, good morning. How we doing?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Good. All right, give us your overview. What did you take away from the victory?
Gibby, if you don't give us good answers, we're going to go AI, take your voice, and make them better.
Well, I got to tell you guys, this is I know I sound terrible this morning, but it was one of those things. We had like 9 players get food poisoning.
Oh my gosh!
From the pregame meal. It was rough.
Wow!
And I was one of them. We had about 3 or 4 guys throwing up during the game.
Oh no! That makes it more impressive to get the victory. Do you remember the win?
I tell you what, if I could give anybody a great weight loss program, go get food poisoning, because I am down about. I told my wife, I'm down like 13 pounds.
Wow!
It was a long weekend.
Wow!
So, but anyway, so that's why I sound the way I do, man.
Well,
it was.
In between gag reflexes, what was the key? It looks like you kind of hit that sweet spot of holding them, under 30 and heading over 40 yourself.
Well, we had talked about in the offseason and we said we wanted to recruit the type of people here that not only were great athletes, but paid attention to detail and characteristics. The major thing that stood out to me from last year was we had 2 penalties the whole game.
Wow.
So, just cleaning up the little things, and that just, for me, that was discipline across the board, and we talked about having a dominating defense in Jacksonville. Jacksonville's going to be known for defense, even though I'm an offensive guy. We're going to play outstanding defense, and those guys, they just paid attention to detail, and opening kickoff, Aiden Hatcher puts a helmet on the kick returner, and we stripped the fumble, and we didn't get it, but they put the ball on the ground like 6 times,
Yeah.
So that's not a coincidence. That was from what they do in practice, and can't say enough about them. So it was a great win, and we jumped out early and never looked back.
Even more important on the road, right? And I know that the other fan bases don't show up like Sharks fans do here. More on that in a second. But even still, when you're on the road, to get out ahead and kind of set that tone, I'm sure, get you off to a good start, right?
Yeah, it was huge, especially with a bye week. We had to, all the things you preach and you try to, what we went through last year, and we sat there and we and you talked off the air about how everything changed, and then you look at going into the season knowing what you know, and then to go on the field and play the defending Eastern Conference champion. And Massachusetts has players now. Now, I'm not sure if they were ready or they thought, when we were coming in, how it was going to turn out, but they've got some of the best players in the league. And for our guys to play like that, it validates what you do in practice, to be honest with you. And it makes it easier to go to practice tomorrow. But like I told the guys, full belly doesn't eat.
The question I would have would be about the running game, because I know how much emphasis that you took out of that difference in the leagues. And so how did that go out of the gates?
Well, it went great. We got 3-headed monster with Jimmy Robinson from Palm Coast, and Tyler King, and Edward Vander, and they all 3 scored touchdowns.
Nice.
I had rushing touchdowns, and there was a couple 4th down plays, 4th and 1, and we said, hey, 4th and 1, we're lining up, do what you do, we're running the ball. That's what we did. We got the first down, and so our offensive line graded out outstanding, and we're going to keep doing what we do. It's so far so good.
And did you say you have a bye week this week?
Yeah, thank God we have a bye week.
Isn't that good? It worked out. I mean, you probably wouldn't want one normally, right? When you saw the schedule, you're like, are you kidding me? Second week, but now it's worked out, and then you got a home open.
It's worked out great. We have some guys in the meeting this morning showed up. They're all pale white from being sick all weekend. So it worked out really good for us. But it's a huge hope. I mean, you got Vegas, the number 1 ranked team in the league, coming in on April 6th.
All right, talk just a little bit about that home opener and continuing this, 1-0 start to get to 2-0 and counting on the home fans is something that the Sharks have had on their side for a lot of years.
Well, we had a lot of guys that signed here this year because of the fan base. When they played here as a visiting team, they wanted to be in Jacksonville because it was the best fan base in the country as far as the excitement of the game. And then last year we were 2-6 at home. It's unacceptable. You got to play in Jacksonville, be undefeated. I don't care what we do on the road, but you got to win every game at home.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that. We talked about it today. We got a lot of rookies on this team that have never really – some of these guys, they never played inside. Because, going to MASH, you're not in front of a lot of people. So it's a little bit of a letdown. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm excited for them guys to be able to walk through that tunnel and see the energy in that building and how our fans in Jacksonville react. It's going to go to a whole nother level, and you're bringing in the number 1 team in the IFL.
ET is back from injury after the interminable Achilles injury a year ago, so I'm sure
and that helps, too. You got to have him back, I didn't want to get a replacement.
He's healthy.
He's healthy for now. You enjoy that for like a week. He'll end up trying to sprint out to get him fired up. He'll pull a hamstring week 2.
I got the duct tape on deck.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a home game, a week from Sunday.
April 6th.
You can get it, your tickets online at jacksharks.com. And now for the phone number.
Oh, yeah. I know this, right? Hold on. I got a tattoo to my forearm.
I put it on you.
904-621-0700. So it'll be a great game, man. We got a lot of guys getting things done. And, again, you're not going to want to miss this one. This will kind of set the tone for the rest of the year.
All right. Well, congratulations on the quick start.
Thanks, guys.
Jay. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Coach.
There he goes. Sharks coach Jason Gibson off to a 1-0 start. Went up there and beat those UMass Pirates 46-25.
Arg.
Back with more next inside of the divorcemenonly.com. Did you just arg? You just went pirate voice. We're inside the divorcemenonly.com studios.
Quenching your thirst for midday sports talk.
Something hot.
XL Primetime.
I hear we're getting a new cappuccino machine.
Josie, Matt Hayes, and Leon Searcy.
Afternoons 2 to 4
on 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Tired of spending all day looking for a new truck? Then stop. At Garber Auto Mall, you can see every new American-made truck side by side. Chevy, GMC, Buick, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Visit us at GarberAutomall.com or in Green Cove Springs. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Zero Res. Beat the spring cleaning rush. Big savings, priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. I've done it numerous times. I'm telling you, man, especially at this time of the year. Spring is a time for renewal, and Zero Res will help refresh your home with clean carpets, fresh floors, improved air quality, man. They remove winter's buildup and lingering odors. And listen, this month, get one room Zero Resified from Jacksonville's #1 carpet cleaner, $53. And take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Air ducts are important. They're like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your air indoor quality suffers. Call Zero Res right now, 287-5727, or go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell me what the station special, right? Mention 1010, 1010XL, Hicken, whatever. Zero Res, I'll take care of you. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Summer in Jacksonville. Sun's out, flip-flops on, and whoa! Well, there goes Uncle Bob into the pool again. Protect your pool deck with Don't Slip Deck Coatings of Jacksonville. Their multi-layered slip-resistant coatings keep you on your feet, not on your backside. Durable, stylish, and way cheaper than an ER visit. Don't Slip Deck Coatings even has indoor options so your kitchen floor isn't a skating rink. Call 904-466-1839 for a free quote and follow Don't Slip Jacks on Facebook and Instagram.
Out with the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 15% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
It's March Madness, and your office needs a champion. Advanced Business Solutions teams up with Xerox to bring you copiers that never miss a shot. Fast, reliable, and ready to handle the pressure. Make the winning play for your business. Hire the champions at Advanced Business Solutions, where your business goes for the win. Locally and veteran-owned.
Print documents and IT management. Advanced Business Solutions.
She's seen and heard all over 1010XL's video and social channels.
Whether the big cats are at the bank or on the road, I'm there too. Follow my updates all season long, on air and online.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
We're giving away free AC inspections to our wonderful customers who now call and schedule. But you must act today. A deal this good won't last forever. Call 904-862-6769. DuckDuckAC.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection.
Jags fans, here's your chance to score a trip to Green Bay for round one of draft night. Through the Everbank Draft Night Experience Sweepstakes, one lucky winner and a guest will be there live and in person to see the Jaguars make their first pick. To enter, visit everbank.com/draft by April 4th. That's everbank.com/draft. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry period from 3/3/25 to 4/4/25. For official rules, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/draft. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Had a busy day? My lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine is great to come home to. It lets you prepare hot, delicious meals in just minutes.
The Sears exclusive extra-large George Foreman grill has a variable temperature control that lets you adjust for the perfect cooking temperature. Low for fish and vegetables, then high for thick, juicy steaks. Food that's healthier, too, because its patented slanted design drains fat and grease into these trays and out of your diet. Because it cooks from both sides, it's a real time saver.
My extra-large grill with temperature control is only available from Sears.
I think I read that George Foreman was making $8 million a month at one point.
Off the grill?
Off the grill.
$8 million?
A month, I believe.
Absolute truth serum. Did you ever own a George Foreman grill?
Yes.
E?
Yes, I had a couple of them.
Me? Yes. I mean, did every...
Okay.
Hold on.
I don't know anybody.
Stand right here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy. Foreman earned approximately $300 million, the majority coming from George Foreman Grill. Yeah. George Foreman passed away this weekend. Very sad at the age of 76. I'll always remember him as a boxer. But
see, and
next generation will remember him as a pitchman.
For sure.
Go ahead.
I caught a little bit of the end of his career, but what I mostly know him for is the grill, the George Foreman grill.
It's a shame because as a boxer,
he's a dog.
All right, so he burst onto the scene when he knocked out Joe Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Okay. I didn't know that was George Foreman.
That was George Foreman.
Okay.
Knocked him down 6 times, shocked Howard Cosell. He's the one calling it. He was, you know who George Foreman was in the Rocky movies? Clubber Lang.
Yeah, Clubber, yeah.
He was this big monster. And then Ali, nobody could beat Foreman, and then Ali beat him. And then the unbelievable thing about George Foreman is he's also the oldest heavyweight champion of all time.
Okay.
You know what
He came back 20 years later. He also won an Olympic gold medal. I mean, George Foreman was a heck of a boxer.
I was shocked that he was only 76.
Yeah.
That was the most surprising thing of his passing was that he was only I would have said 84 minimum if I were trying to guess how. In my mind, I feel like he was 40 when he came back and won that heavyweight title. He must have been mid-30s, and we just looked at it different. Like, if somebody does something at 36 now, we don't think it's nothing, do we?
You're right.
I mean, you got to get up in the 40. If you're going to impress us with doing something into a late age, 38 don't even cut it anymore. If you're not hitting 40, we're not really paying attention. But he was really pointed out for being really super old when he came back and fought, is the way I remember it.
He also has something in common with Charlton K. Gainey, 5.0.
Okay. Yeah. Fifth marriage is what you're saying.
5 of them, yeah. Yeah. He also, if he's not specific in his will, there'll be a problem because if he leaves the money to George, we don't know which one. All his sons are named George.
Yeah, that was an odd one.
Yeah.
That was an odd dynamic. Yeah, for sure.
He has 12 children from his 5 marriages, 11 of whom are now anticipated to receive a large portion of his enormous wealth. His biological daughter is Georgetta. His 5 sons are George Edward Foreman.
That's stupid.
And he does have a Georgetta. Then he has Michi, Leola, and Natalia.
Nothing funny or smart or clever at all. It's just dumb. You know what a pain in the butt it must be to go get a driver's license if you're one of those kids? You know how many times you must get the wrong bill or ticket or, paycheck?
What do you resort to?
Monk was the nickname of George III. Big Wheel was George IV. Red and Little Joey were the nicknames of the last 2 Georges.
Here's an idea. Maybe George, Jim, Fred, Frank, and Bill. How hard was it?
George Foreman is a heck of a life.
Boy, you know what? I bet you for sure. And only 76. I couldn't believe how that was his age.
And a very likable person.
For sure. And from where you said he was not. He was the He was the villain when he first came out. And I think Ali humbled him. I mean, George Foreman, I think, thought he was unbeatable.
Probably right.
And Ali humbled him. And then Frazier humbled him, and suddenly he realized that there's some other big.
Did he ever have one of those big fights like Thriller in Manila?
Yeah, he had
which one was that?
That was
the
him.
Rumble. Yeah, he was Rumble in the Jungle.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Or see the Thriller in Manila.
No, Thriller in Manila was Frazier.
Yeah, he was the Rumble in the Jungle. That was Foreman and Ali.
The Rumble in the Jungle.
Yeah.
It was Foreman, Frazier, Ali.
Boombaye. Ali, Boombaye.
Yeah, that was that one.
That was them.
And it was all
in Zaire, and Ali shocked him with the rope-a-dope.
No, hit him with the rope-a-dope.
Hit him with the rope-a-dope, and he wore him down, and then he knocked him out. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, all true.
It was Ali's signature moment.
You were gonna hit us up with some Gator trivia. We were wondering what the best individual performance is. Isn't it like this? You remember the pain more than you do the ecstasy? Because when Hicken said the opponent's record for scoring, I immediately got it from 1988 or 89.
Yes.
I said, that was Glenn Rice, 32, and sure as
most
sugar.
Points ever scored in an individual game
by the Florida Gator
Florida
player.
Gator in the tournament.
Now, I gave a couple of just quickie guesses in full disclosure when we were off the air, so I can cut a few guys off. I was thinking of guys like Michael Frazier, Kenny Boynton.
Good guesses. 35 is the number.
35 is the number.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It didn't happen during the Billy era.
Okay. So I don't think there was, if it wasn't Vernon, and I guess it wasn't Vern. I mean, only Vern scoring 35. But could it be Livingston Chapman? Could he have gone for 35?
No.
Vernon, it couldn't have been, it wasn't Vern. There was nobody else in that era. who could go for 35. So that's going to leave us with the Mike White era. Or Lon Kruger. Craig Brown go for 35?
No.
That's a lot.
Did Bradley Beal ever go for it? No.
It happened in 2017 against Wisconsin. It was Kevon Allen.
Kevon Allen.
Yep.
Wow.
He had 35 that night.
Hey, well, you know what? The one thing I'll say, that's that Michael Frazier, Kenny Boynton guy. That's Kevon Allen.
Mm-hmm.
He's Michael Frazier. They're the same dude, pretty much.
17 rebounds happened twice. The last time by Alex Tyus.
Wow.
Against BYU.
Tyus was on BPY's teams.
No. Was he?
Yeah, wasn't he?
No,
he wasn't.
2011. Tyus was on the. No, BPY was after that, right?
I thought Tyus was one of BPY's guys. Who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of the Frenchman.
Oh yeah. Nerlens Noel.
No. No, you get. You get?
I know. I'm kidding.
Most assists, Torian Green had a dozen against Jackson State. Most field goals made. You'll never guess this. Also in 2011.
Eric Murphy.
Vernon Macklin.
Oh, okay.
Kevon had the most field goals attempt. Free throws made. Joakim had 13 against Villanova. We needed all of them. He was 13 of 15 that day. 3-pointers made, rightfully so. Lee Humphrey had 7 against Oregon. Kenny Boynton had the most 3 points attempted. Steals, Kavarius Hayes against East Tennessee State. Blocks, Joakim had 6 against UCLA. That's pretty good. Minutes, Brett Nelson went for 47 minutes against Creighton. Field goal percentage, Big Pat Young.
Nice.
3 times Big Pat did it, last to do it against Virginia. Yeah. So there you have it. Some of the records by the Gators. Most games in the tournament.
Big Pat played with Tyus. Tyus was there through 11, and Young was there 10 to 14. So they had 2 years together.
Okay, 2 years together. All right.
I think he is buddies to him. I think he's mentioned him, even outside of you get.
Yeah, I know he's good friends with Will.
Okay, and you know Patrick better than I do.
Most games, career, tournament, Scotty and Pat, 17, Elite 8, Final Four.
Wow, that's amazing because the other two went 6 in a row. E, do you remember who stopped Florida from winning 3 straight? Do you remember who beat the Gators after their back-to-back national champions? Do you remember, Dan?
I'd have to think about it for a second.
Don't look at it.
Ohio State.
So Florida went back-to-back in 05 and 06, and then in 07, 08, 24 and 12. Who beat them? Who knocked them out of the NCAA tournament that year?
That was
And then the next year they went 25 and 11. If you want to go ahead and tell me who beat them.
I don't think they went.
They got left out of the tournament with 20-something wins, man. That would never happen today. Are you kidding me?
No,
then, by the way, they turned around the next year and went 25 and 11 and got left out again.
Yeah. That's when Billy said, okay, I'm not playing. I got to play better.
Yeah.
They kept penalizing. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Billy.
And then I guess
he went on a bunch of Elite Eights there pretty soon after that.
Well, Brigham Young beat him somewhere in there.
Yeah, I don't have I can't expand this page.
I think Brigham Young beat him in, I'm not good.
I don't know the years, yeah. 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13. The best year was the 13-14 year, 36 and 3. You had a stat all time as a 1 seed. They're 12 and 1.
Yes,
they're in the right spot right now. The only loss they had was in the semi. They lost to UConn in the Final Four. It's the only time they've lost as a 1 seed.
As a 1 seed.
Yeah,
that's right. 17-4, we were up in that game. We lost by 10.
I thought about that yesterday when we jumped out to a little bit of a lead early.
I thought about last night when Oregon was leading Arizona 17-4, and then they lost.
Oh, Oregon had a 17-4 lead. I had Arizona. That's another one that I made up a little bit of.
He had Arizona too.
Our brackets have kind of they've gotten there a different way, but they're all kind of in the same spot.
They are.
We each have 12 of the 16.
We all have 7 of the 8.
We all have 7 of the 8 remaining.
Yeah, for the Elite 8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alive, and I have all 4 alive. Did you lose one?
No.
Okay, no one lost a 4.
I was a little worried about Sparty last night.
Yeah, I saw that. And I was obviously, if you don't have someone, you're rooting hard for them to lose for the sake of the bracket, even though you have them winning another round or 2.
That's hateful.
Well, it happens, and I'm sure you all, never seen so much interest in McNeese State in my life than these boys, so I'm trying to just enjoy a golf tournament. Some truth there.
He was drinking boilers.
No, man, the Cinderella part was the first game. Yeah. I have them win in the second because I like doing that when I don't have a team winning the following round. That's why I like to throw an upset so it's a team I think they'd lose the next one anyway. So
it was the whole thing with their manager and everything too that gave them like that Cinderella.
The manager's
vibe.
going with the coach to NC State.
He hit the transfer portal.
That's funny.
Let's take a break. We'll come back, make the turn for home next on The Drill.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. Put some paint on your quarter panel.
All the way up against the wall, there's still 3 feet.
This Sunday at Martinsville.
They both spin out.
NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on 1010XL.
Hey, imagine having a doctor available to you any day, anytime. That's my doc, Rick Townsend. Look, Doc T said, Hick, I'm going into concierge medicine. I said, Doc T, what's that? He said, well, like if you're not feeling well, you come see me that day. I said, well, that's a good thing. He said, yeah, if you have a medical emergency, you call me and I call you right back. I said, I like that. He goes, I have less patients. I can practice more medicine. It'll be great for me and it'll be great for you. I said, I'm in. It's kind of like being a member of an exclusive golf club, but the cost this time surprises you, right? And I can tell you how good of a doctor Rick Townsend is. Navy trained, graduated from Wake Forest. So whether it's yearly physicals, office or virtual visits, cancer screenings, referrals to specialists, hospital follow-ups, Doc T's got you covered. So here's what you do. And you better do it soon because we've been doing this for about, 6-7 months, and he's filling up fast. You can find out all your answers at mypvconcierge.com, mypvconcierge.com.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Golfers, grab your clubs. It's time to hit the greens for a great cause. Join UF Health Jacksonville for their inaugural golf classic on Friday, April 25th at the beautiful Amelia River Club with a shotgun start at 9 a.m. Enjoy a premier golf experience while supporting UF Health Jacksonville. Bring your friends, build your foursome, and get ready for a day of fun, competition, and giving back. Don't wait. Sign up today at ufhealthjacks.org/golf. See you on the course.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE NeoGraft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beechurst here, second-generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beechurst Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do and plumbing is what we're great at. Beechurst Plumbing, here to help.
Navy Mutual would like to salute all Medal of Honor recipients that have been given our nation's highest award. In 1990, Congress designated March 25th as National Medal of Honor Day, and it was signed into law by President George H.W. Bush.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 24th, 1979, Michigan State's Magic Johnson, NBA legend, registers a triple-double with 29 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, and the Spartans win over Penn State.
Hi, it's Rick Ballou. I hope you'll join me and some former NFL players for an incredible event at the end of March. The Lone Warrior Foundation 2025 Champions of Hope Charity Golf and Tennis Challenge. March 31st at Marsh Landing will support single-parent families in their fight against cancer. An opportunity to win sensational prizes, but more importantly, we will bring meaningful hope and support to the lives of families affected. To sign up, go to LoneWarriorFoundation.com. That's LoneWarriorFoundation.com.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Lots of jewelry stores in the town center, but only one is locally owned, Beard's Diamonds.
We're the only local jewelry store at the town center.
That's Jacksonville's John Lupo, owner of Beard's for over 4 decades.
We're entrenched in Jacksonville, Florida.
In a sea of mega chain jewelers, John says it's easy to stand out because he's not handcuffed by a corporate handbook.
I am not beholden to a corporate structure, so we've got flexibility to do whatever we can and want, and we do.
And that includes lowering prices to undercut them every day.
Quality for quality, color for color, everything the same. We should be able to beat them hands down by minimum 20%. We go overseas ourselves. We know exactly what we're buying. This isn't getting marked up in a corporate structure. We will beat anybody's price anywhere.
So before you buy anything at one of those chains, get a second opinion at locally owned Beard's Diamonds. No corporate atmosphere, no corporate rules, no corporate high markups.
We want you to come shop us and you'll see a lot better price here.
Beard's Diamonds.
Everybody gets a good deal at Beard's.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how we go down this road, but
nasty.
I'm on a boat. This is 9 o'clock nasty, man. The attorney for the charter companies, some of the we're talking about the Vikings and the boat. We were talking about that. The love boat came up in the break. It wasn't love though; it was the sex boat.
Sure, but I think they called it the love boat. I think it's what they were calling it back then.
Oh man. Oh, I can't. Wow. Read this paragraph, Pross.
Out loud?
No.
I say we meet him at the airport.
Ooh. Man, there's some hidden latency out there in celebrity land, E.T.
For sure.
There's some hidden latency. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on there. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to be on that boat. That boat right there is headed straight for Sodom and Gomorrah and then to hell. Okay? That boat sailed right through Sodom, past Gomorrah, and into the River Styx, buddy. Into the Lake Hades. Yeah. Good luck explaining that one, boys.
That boat got crazy.
Yeah. This boat's a rockin'. You better run. Haul A.
There's
out
some
to stuff here you don't want to see.
Former Vikings on the boat.
I mean, there's some Viking on Viking shenanigans. Mm-hmm. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
A couple locals made it onto that boat.
Shout out.
You can look them up. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I wonder if they have any photos on that one.
Wow.
All right. Here I'm for the cool down, I think it's noteworthy that the cream of the crop in college basketball is holding their spot.
Mm-hmm.
What did we say? At least what I said. Man, I'm having a hard time not getting one of these 4 of these 6 teams to the Final Four because all year long, Duke, Houston, Florida, Auburn, Bama, and Tennessee have been the best 6 teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess Michigan State probably deserves to have a little bit of that conversation. They tried to put St. John's in there. No, they weren't. No, they most certainly weren't. You're the cream of the crop in the Big East. You can't beat an 8-10 SEC team. Get out of here. But I look now at this. It looks even more likely that the Final Four teams are going to be 4 of those 6. Who outside of those? Well, you've got Michigan State beating Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Purdue. So there you go. There's 2 that could crash the party. My bracket still lives with those teams. In fact, I've got all 6 of those teams into the Elite Eight, and they're all still alive going into the Elite Eight. So it's played out like we thought. And I will say this too about the SEC. You put 7 in the Sweet 16, and you can't. I don't think you can bicker with how many went in. You could put a whole conference in you could put a whole 10 conferences in, they wouldn't get 7. Add them all up.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah.
We trended? I guess so. My man's ready. Ready as he's gonna be.
Who's it brought to us by?
Dr. Rick Townsend, mypvconcierge.com for all your
15? No, wrong time.
A little late.
Number 5.
You know.
We'll open up with this. We just spoke on this, and you learn something new every day. Well, unfortunately, George Foreman, he passed away over the weekend at the age of 76, which is quite young. But what Dan let me know, $8 million a month.
Yeah.
In the George Foreman grills?
All right, so I went down the hallway when I left.
Right.
I asked 8 people ranging in age from double D to our age. 7 of the 8 have owned a George Foreman grill. And this is all age groups. So the only one that didn't is Dylan Denmark, and he's the one that needs one more than anyone.
You're right.
Throw his spam in there in the morning, he'd be good to go. He needs one. He would use the heck out of a George Foreman grill. We've had one. You bet I have. Michael Scott had one. He once burned his feet on it making bacon in the morning. But
hold on. What?
That's an office story.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an office story. Office storyline. Here's what I got it confused too. He did win the title in his 40s. I was confusing George of the 80s, thinking he was a 40, but he was still, was in his 30s then. But George had 2 comebacks. He came and fought Tyson. Foreman was out of it for 10 years, wasn't he, Dan? And then in the late 80s, he fought Tyson.
I believe, I don't know at what point, somewhere he became Preacher George.
Yeah, for sure.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, for sure. He really changed his countenance from a really aggressive, mean person to a happy-go-lucky, just a huggable, smiley guy, right? George Foreman he left as a beloved, nice guy, wouldn't you say?
100%.
Number 4.
Gentlemen, is there a show that has like its own channel that is dedicated to that show 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Like you can go to that channel and watch that show. Is there one particular show?
Boy, I don't think so.
I almost feel like Law and Order is always on USA.
Well, it's all, they have other shows, but to your point, there definitely are some that it's always, that they're on a lot, but I don't know if there's a network that's all they show.
Well, fans of The Simpsons can now relive all 767 episodes across 35 seasons in chronological order with their new streaming show that's going to be on Disney+.
So how many episodes did you say? Let me get
767 episodes.
Okay, so you got 767 episodes. It's a half hour.
Yep.
So if you did one episode a day,
48.
That would be, you would do 48 in a day.
Yeah.
Right.
So 50 in a day.
Divided by 48 equals, you can watch the whole thing in 16 days. So if you watch it straight through, but in other news, it would also take you 16 days if you watched them straight through.
Right.
That's a lot of watching.
Number 3.
I thought this was interesting, and this happened back in January. I'm surprised we didn't touch on it, but a PGA Tour rookie carded an octuple bogey.
Oh dear.
William Meow. He recorded an octuple bogey during a round. I think it was the 3rd round. But man, and I was watching the video because that's what's trending right now on social media. The video of him, and you can hear the announcers like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" It's like he was going back and forth.
Oh boy.
It wasn't pretty. It looked like your boy out there. Your boy out there.
Been there, buddy.
Number 2.
It's a sign of sportsmanship, and every time I hear about this guy, everybody says they speak highly of Matthew Dellavedova.
Yes, this was nice.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, he won the MVP in the NBL Finals.
In Australia? Is that where it is?
Correct, in Australia.
Yeah.
Despite his team losing in the finals. Now, can you imagine your team winning and then someone on the losing team getting the MVP? Well, that's what happened with Matthew Dellavedova, but like in his speech, like he was saying, look, it was a great series to my team. It was a wonderful season, but I want to say Hickey, it was he gave the award to
He gave it away.
Will Hickey.
Yeah.
Who scored 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. And he said, like, you earned it throughout the series. So great act of sportsmanship by Matthew Dellavedova.
No doubt. Speaking of basketball, this isn't number one, but this Montverde Academy team in 24.
Oh, yeah.
Cooper Flagg.
Yeah.
Asa Newell from Georgia. Liam McNeely from UConn.
Wow.
Derek Queen from Maryland. And Robert Wright from Baylor.
Wow.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Right?
That's silly. Who gave them the closest game? I wonder. That is an amazing team.
Yeah.
That's like
that team was stacked.
I don't know the Baylor kid, but those other 4 are just big time players. Big time.
And Cooper, he faced against the Baylor kid yesterday, actually.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, they were 19-6.
That's
no, it's 24-25. I'm looking for 23-24. Hold on. 33-0. Okay.
Yeah.
It better be.
Yeah, that's
if anybody in play. They won their first game against South Lake, 118-28.
What's the closest anyone stayed with them? I bet you not within 30 points if they were trying. That's because that's some size.
IMG 86-69. Link Academy got them 71-59. They won, but
yeah. Those are probably teams, by the way. If you look at IMG, they probably got 5 or 6 of just that second level.
Prolific Prep 78-72.
Oh.
Prolific Prep took them down there.
Bronny plays for them, though.
Probably.
In season.
That was it, though. They didn't.
In season.
Shame on, they played Christopher Columbus. They only beat them by 14. So.
Wonder who was on those teams.
Yeah.
George Foreman's last fight, 48 years old.
Yeah.
Shannon Briggs. He didn't fight Tyson. Tyson era. I remember when he was fighting in those kind of mid to late 80s. The one you remember most would be Holyfield, who he took to a decision. At the age of 42 years, he took Holyfield to a decision. He lost that fight, and they ended up winning the title. Beat Michael Moore to win the title at 45 years, 299 days. Wow.
Number 1.
That's it. Hottest story going.
Oh, it's the hottest story right now.
Go Gators.
I don't know if you've seen this video, Dan, of Jaden Daniels and Juju Watkins in the basketball game.
What'd Mama do?
Mama came and sat right in between them. Mama says that she wants Jaden to focus strictly on football. No girls, no nothing, and she's standing on business.
Well, mate, you know what, Mama? You see that piece of paper that your boy signs? That's called his paycheck. He's a grown A man. And so if he wants to go sit with Juju Watkins on the dadgum moon, you throw Mama from the train. Mama, go sit at home where you belong now because your little boy's all grown up. He's now a grown man.
That's fair.
So, yeah, if my mother would come sit in between me, I would be embarrassed as a man.
That's literally what she did.
Yeah, but 20-something-year-old man has his mama come sit between him and his girlfriend. I'm done with Mama for a while. Yeah. So, yeah, come on, man.
That's what's trending.
What are we doing?
Prolific Prep had Kansas, Cal, Michigan, LSU, so they had some players too.
Yeah. So. They must have had a good game to stay with that. That was a monster unit. You read me.
Yeah, you might gotta get a better team.
Queen and Flag and
yeah. Play us out of here, E.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Service by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
Yeah. The Columbus has the Boozer twins.
That's fair.
So that's why they were.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Tone?
What's up, guys?
What's cooking today?
Our question of the day today, asking if the Jags were to trade back from the 5th pick in this year's draft, which compensation would you prefer?
Okay.
Move down to 7 and pick up a 3rd-round pick from the Jets.
Okay.
That would be pick 73. So 7 and 73 or trade down with San Francisco at 11.
Okay.
And pick up their 2nd-round pick. So 11 and 43.
Ooh.
I think I'd go 11 and 43 myself.
Well, I think if you trade out of 5, you're open to anything. So then I probably would lean more towards that. And then
unless you have somebody that you want at 5 that you think you can get at 7.
Right, like the Mason Graham thing.
Sure.
Like
also
he's not likely to be there at 11. So if Mason's the guy you want, then 7's probably the.
I keep seeing this Mason.
If I get 43, then I got some ammo to trade back up into the 1st round.
Potentially,
too, right?
I keep seeing this Mason Graham. smoke of him going third or fourth now in some mock drafts, which I haven't seen hardly at all up until most recently. So I think there's still some sorting to go probably between now and draft day, which is, God, be before you know it, right? 5-6 weeks away.
Have a great show, Tone.
4 weeks, guys.
Yeah.
Wow,
4 weeks from Thursday. Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow.
4
weeks.
Yeah, 4.5 weeks now. Yep.
Okay.
Mike and Tony got Jaguars today, locked and loaded, ready for you to rock and roll through. Our work is done here on a Monday.
Yes, we say goodbye from the DivorceMenOnly.com studio. See you tomorrow.
Swerve.
This is Daniel Murphy on my hometown station here in Jacksonville, 1010XL 92.5.